Learn about your screening options, including easy-to-use at-home tests. Ask your doctor or go to providence.org/colon cancer to determine which screening option is right for you.
Now, let's take a short break from our 8-hour ode to the oboe for a word from our sponsor, Mr. First Tuesday. Get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday. Looks like we've got a caller on the line.
How are you not more excited about new scratch-offs? There's millions in prizes.
Who is this?
Oh, this is Mr. First Tuesday. And by the way, it goes, get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Right arm, right leg.
Left leg, left arm.
Both legs above the knee.
Both legs, part of my left hand.
Lost both my legs in Iraq.
These 9/11 veterans are just a few of the heroes we serve at Homes for Our Troops. For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes with features like wheelchair access, roll-in showers, and pull-down cabinets that allow them to function independently and focus on their recovery and family. This life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans, thanks to our donors and supporters. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Listen up, parents, teachers, counselors, coaches. Your boy or sister turned 18, but they need one more push. Don't let them forget to register with the Selective Service System. It's required by law, and it can open up the door to many federal benefits. Visit sss.gov.
Right now at Macy's, it's the perfect time to start looking ahead to fall. Shop all the on-trend wardrobe updates you can wear now and keep wearing later, like flowy full-length dresses and easy lightweight layers, like blazers, cardigans, and jackets. And Macy's has great deals on fall updates for every room in your home, like warm bedding and kitchen essentials. Plus, download the app for exclusive savings, inspiration, and more today at Macy's.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It's a pleasant afternoon out there. High temperatures near normal in the mid-50s under partly cloudy skies. We start a warm-up. Temperatures aren't as cold overnight tonight. We'll see lows in the low 40s. And tomorrow, under partly cloudy skies, our highs climb into the mid-60s.
Weather update brought to you by Blue Shark Vodka, the world's smoothest vodka. Pour some Blue Shark Vodka at all of your events to lift everyone's spirits. Blue Shark Vodka, the shark that doesn't bite. 3 o'clock check of your money. The Dow Jones today up 683 points to 49,066.
Has time. Down the middle, throws an interception. Picked off by Christian Roseboom. Young flips it short. Caught. Tremble, touchdown as the tight end at Notre Dame.
As Cousins has a lot of time and throws for the end zone. That's a touchdown, Falcons. Great London, all alone sitting back there. Tyler Shough, and it is intercepted. The Falcon take away D. Alford on his way.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy new week. Happy new year. I think we're on one of the last few days you can say that. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox back producing the show. We have the band back together to talk playoffs. Playoffs. Carolina Panthers going to the dance. I don't care how you get there. You got there. And anybody can win it from here. We start every show with something we call the Big 3 at 3, and you know where it's going to start today.
Number 1.
The Carolina Panthers are going to the postseason. They have qualified. Whether you think it is deserved or not, it is not negotiable. It is not a committee in a room. There were parameters set forth. And they won enough games, and they won enough games against the right teams to be in the postseason. That is inarguable. And I'm happy. I'm happy for it. Right? I am not somebody with too much pride to accept a bid to the postseason because, well, you were outscored by 69 points this year, which is the fourth worst scoring differential since the merger of a playoff team. Do I care that your last win by more than 3 points was in October, or your last win by more than 7 points was in September, or your last win as a favorite was in September of 2021. Do I care about any of that? No. By the way, shout out to Doug Clausen for the stats. Do I care that you lost to the Saints twice? No. Do I care that it didn't pass the eye test, meaning it didn't always look the prettiest? No. What I care about is you're in the postseason. What I care about is that whatever the line was, you're above it. And the reason I care about that is because playoff experience is playoff experience is playoff experience is playoff experience. I'll say it over and over and over again. Nobody believes in the Panthers from this point forward. Right? Their odds to win the Super Bowl are 1 billion to 1. Their odds to, heck, they're a 10-point dog to win in the first round against the Rams, a team that they just beat like a month ago. Nobody believes in the Panthers, but right, this isn't college football where it's 1-year contracts for everybody and who knows who's going to be on your team next year. You have a core, you have a leadership group, you have a part of your team, a coaching staff, whoever, that are going to be around for the next few years. And they're going to learn things about themselves this week. They're going to learn things about themselves in the way they prepare and in how they perform against the Rams that will benefit them tremendously moving forward. So again, it's not the prettiest, right? This isn't a season that you frame and put on, in your walkway when everybody first walks in. This is a season that you keep in the photo album and you tuck it away on a shelf somewhere. But when you bring it out, you can really learn some things about yourself. Credit to the defense. I actually believe they played well enough to clinch a playoff spot each of the last 2 weeks. Weren't backed up by the offense enough, but that's why it's an ultimate team sport. You need everybody. Dave Canales was asked on Sunday what it means to them to be in the playoffs, and this is what the head coach had to say. We could second this and say we are acting like you maybe the offense for the Carolina Panthers. We're going to take our sweet time, right? We are going to load it up, and now we'll go.
Yeah, it's about process. It's about our mentality. We talk about, attacking every game as a championship opportunity. And, over the course of the season, we stack together enough wins in our division, outside of division, to prepare us for this. And so now we take the next step. We kind of chop our season up into quarters and treat it like a game. You got the first quarter, second quarter, for one of our quarters had 5 games in it. But so we just have that mentality so that we can be on track to seize championship opportunities. And this is the next one. So we just have to go right back to work with our process. And, what it's meant is just, proving to the guys that if we have that mentality, if we do take advantage of opportunities and prepare ourselves each week like it's a championship opportunity, then good things will happen down the stretch. And we're in this position right now because of the hard work and that focus.
That was obviously when I said after the game. After the Falcons-Saints game, that put in the Panthers into the postseason. After their game would have been a little bit more melancholy because they did not play great against the Bucs. And we'll get to that at about 3:15. So we're not far away from individual game breakdown in addition to the postseason appearance. That's number 1 on the Big 3 at 3. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
The Carolina Hurricanes split the weekend. It was a 5-3 loss to Colorado, and then followed that up on the road against Jersey with a 3-1 win. This is just like me personally here. I've dodged some really weird moments for the Canes. The Canes have struggled, right? They gave up a bunch of multi-goal leads in the last 9 games. They've crumbled against some of the better teams in the league, particularly late. But it seems like every time I'm going to host a show, they win the one game right before it, and it makes me kind of sugarcoat it a bit. Right? I was out for the holidays. They went on that little Florida rampage where they gave up multi-goal leads to Florida at Tampa Bay and then lost at home to Florida. But they beat Detroit right before I came back on air. So it was all about, hey, they've locked in and focused and flushed it. Well, again, the Montreal game on Thursday played right into the Colorado game because we only had an hour-long show on Friday. Played right into the Colorado game over the weekend, and these aren't great, and it's not going well, and they're fumbling multi-goal leads. But then Sunday they beat New Jersey. And it's like, all right, we could talk about how they locked back in against Jersey, right? About how so much went well, and they had the lead and didn't give it up. But I do think we have to address what's been happening prior to their bounce backs. There's something very un-Canes-like of 3-goal leads, 2-goal leads, not feeling pretty darn safe. Now, I'm not saying in the past they've never given up a multiple goal lead. Everybody does. The 2-goal lead's the worst lead in hockey. We all know the cliches. But for whatever reason, right now it feels shaky. I have friends that are Devils fans. They're texting me when the score's 3-1 yesterday. And I'm the one going like, well, hold on, guys. This one's not over. And in the past, I'd feel much more comfortable talking trash to them right back on that one. So Brandon Bussi got back in net, played really well. And I think that is wildly important, proving that he can bounce back from a game like he put on the ice against Montreal on Thursday, which is massive. Makes me much more comfortable putting huge amounts of responsibility on Brandon Bussi's plate. But let's not get it twisted. They've had 2-3 game streaks in their last 9 games that are a little concerning. So I'd like to see how they string together 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 games without those collapses before we get all wishy-washy and lovey-dovey. That's number 2. How about number 3?
Number 3.
College basketball, full swing. Oh, man. Do you know how nice it is to say this? We are in full swing college basketball season, and we're going to have to squeeze them in around the playoff Panthers talk that we have on this show. It's been a long time. Normally, week 18. Let's turn on over to college baskall. What's the AP poll looking like? Which, by the way, the first one came out today.
Yeah. What are the mock drafts?
Yeah. I love mock draft season, but I love being able to push that back a week, at least for the Carolina Panthers. In college basketball, though, not a great week. Not a great weekend for the Triangle. NC State kind of got smoked by Virginia, 76-61.
It wasn't kind of. They were smoked. I was at that game. It was not pretty.
Yeah, and it almost, you want to have like things to do when things are going wrong. Like if there's a leak, you want to be able to yell things, right? You go crank that lever. You go see if you can get it from see if you can stop it at the source. You grab the duct tape and the wrench. It felt like they got behind by like 15 and just went, well, shoot, we're down 15. That's just what it's going to be. They didn't have any moves. They didn't have any things to try, which was kind of disheartening. UNC, I guess, kind of got smoked by SMU, right? Very similar point differentials at the end, much more high scoring, but that might say something about UNC's defense. And then Duke, I know they beat Florida State, but Florida State in their non-conference schedule looked like trash. And I know they've bounced back and obviously against Wake played well, but Duke only won 91-87 in that one. So not a great weekend of Triangle college basketball. If you want to be optimistic, and that's kind of going to be my goal today, I like to keep the energy high, keep the vibes high. Virginia and SMU don't look like bad losses right now. Right? There was a point in time not long ago where darn near every loss in ACC conference play was going to go on your resume at the end of the year under bad losses, right? When they're doing the bracketology, and there was like three biggest wins, 3 worst losses. It was like if you lost in the ACC, that's not great. But Virginia and SMU, right, their losses for NC State and UNC, don't get me wrong, losses are bad, but perhaps the ACC is good enough that you can, I beat you, you beat them, they beat the other team, you beat us, and nobody has to suffer that much because they're all seen as quality opponents? Maybe, perhaps. That's what it used to be like. Every game was a bloodbath, but it was also, every game was seen as a big game for both teams. Don't forget, everybody, we have a Monday Soundoff about an hour from now. We will open up the phone lines for your reactions. Panthers going to the postseason. Panthers losing to the Bucs. Canes splitting over the weekend. Brandon Bussi, college basketball, college football. The transfer portal is open. It is a truly anything goes day, and you will decide where we go with a Monday Soundoff when we open up the phone lines at 4:15. Stick around for that. Panthers lost to the Bucs on Saturday prior to the good news that the Falcons put the Carolina Panthers into the postseason anyway. It was not a super fun weekend for Carolina Panther fans. What went wrong against the Bucs? Stick around.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What, you expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Dine in, drive through, or tap your favorite delivery app and have Bojangles come to you. Satisfy your craving for flavor right now with Bojangles 2-piece dinner. 2 pieces of Bojangles dark meat chicken, your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and iced tea for just $6.99. That's right, just $6.99 for limited time at participating Bojangles. What are you waiting for? When you're hungry, it's always bow time.
Tyler Shough, and it is intercepted. The Falcon take away D. Alford on his way. Eventually slowed down.
That's how we do it, man. Dirty Bird, let's go, rise up. Great dogs against the Aints, baby. Let's go. Let's get it, man. Great way to finish the season with the bros, man. Rise up, baby.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So the Falcons beat the Saints on Sunday, which means Saturday's game for the Carolina Panthers did not matter in terms of postseason appearances. They didn't know that at the time because Panthers played on Saturday, but with the Falcons winning, the Panthers were in win, lose, or draw on Saturday. That doesn't change the fact that when they went into the game on Saturday, everybody was aware that a win or a tie from the Carolina Panthers would have secured their postseason, and a loss kept it in the balance. Can't have higher stakes than that. I guess you could if it was losing, you don't have a chance, but pretty close to as high of the stakes as you could possibly have. The Panthers lost 16-14. Now, to set the scene for those of you that are so blinded by postseason that you forget, it was a stormy, rainy, gross weather elements game on Saturday.
It looked miserable out there.
There were points in time, like going to commercials, they were playing like the slow motion cuts of rain falling through the lights and then cutting to faces of guys on the sideline, and their faces just said, I want to go home. Can I have a towel? Why don't we have umbrellas on the sideline? It was just an entire first half, especially of that. It was a confusing game for me because every single conversation that I had with somebody about the game, every single question that was asked, every statement made comes with a yeah, but. Right? The Panthers lost. They lost by 2 in a game that they really wanted to win. Yeah, but there were like 4 or 5 of the worst refs calls I've seen in a long time. Yeah, but some of those calls were completely unnecessary to even be in existence because, like, Rico Dowd will catch the swing pass, and we don't have to argue about whether it was going forward or backward or whether the referee should have blown the whistle or why it was called a fumble out of bounds and if they should have been able to redo it. Like, we shouldn't even have gotten there. If you just catch as a good pass-catching back, just catch the pass. Right? There were so many things like that where it's like, you know what? I get it. Horrible call. Yeah, but you probably should have been able to control what you can control and get out on the other side without having to depend or put the game in the ref's hands. Bryce Young, statistically, had one of his better games of the year, right? For those of us that yell and scream about him not throwing for 200 yards, he threw for 266. More touchdowns than interceptions, 2-1. Rainy day. For the most part, handled the elements okay. He did. I'll be clear on that one. For the most part. Yeah, but he did have the interception. Not a great one. Yeah, but the deep ball to Teteroa McMillan, which was probably one of the better plays of the day towards the end, not the one that was taken away for the penalty, the one that set up the Jalen Coker touchdown. If he throws that thing 4 yards further, touchdown, and you have significantly more time at the end of the game to potentially go win it, you don't have to take the time to score the touchdown from Jalen Coker. It's just a lot of yeah, buts. So as soon as you start criticizing Bryce Young, what's the yeah, but? Yeah, but he was going into a must-win game, bad conditions, got absolutely no help from the running game. Absolutely zippy. So adding context, adding nuance when it comes to this game, every single game, every single statement is met with a yeah, but, right? There's they say there's 3 sides to every story, your side, my side, and the truth. This game has like 75 sides. And you can sit there like just giving the qualifiers, right? Just giving the context would take you all day. It would take you all day. And then there were some things that I think were inarguable. Calling a flea flicker on the 20-yard line on a wet field, going in a close game where you're not behind by 17 points and needing just the ultimate spark, like you were actually hanging around. That's objectively a bad play call.
One of your better drives that you actually had all day.
Exactly.
You killed it yourself.
Finally have momentum. Just objectively a bad play call. And again, that's not 20/20 hindsight because it didn't work. In moment, watching it, and you almost yelp to yourself, what are they doing? No. Happened in like slow motion. Why is he chopping his feet? No, whoa. He's slipping. Why is he? Was that a pitch? It was such a ridiculous play call that there are truthers online that don't think that was the play call. They think Rico Dowdle went rogue.
It's insane. Like cope. I don't know. It's whatever you got to do. But Canales was asked about it. Bryce was asked about it. Rico was asked about it. They all say, yeah, it was just bad.
And a big part of the conspiracy there, I'll just end it real quick.
So many tinfoil hats.
Is because nobody was running deep. Teteroa McMillan was going to run a hitch and go. He hitched and he turned around and saw the chaos ensuing and went, you know what? I'm not going to run another 15 yards downfield just for cardio. He was going to run a hitch and go. It is a play that certain teams have in their playbook for that part of the field because Teteroa McMillan can't be going downfield the entire time because the flea flicker takes time, and they're on the edges of the red zone. If he just ran downfield, he'd be in section RR, behind the field goal post if he was running. So they had to waste time. So they run a hitch and go rather than just kind of a straight downfield. It was a play call. It was a bad one. And you could argue it cost him the win. Rico Dowdle dropping the pass. It was not a good day for Rico. I don't think you abandoned him completely, but it was not a good day for Rico. There are certain objectives that don't get the yeah, but. How about another? I don't think this is arguable. Jalen Coker needs to be given the ball more. I don't think that is arguable, right? We can have all the context in the world. Tedero McMillan, right? 1,014 yards, rookie record for the Carolina Panthers. The only rookie this season to go over 1,000 receiving yards. Perhaps that long catch that I just told you about secured him Offensive Rookie of the Year, right? There is arguments about how often or how much more you should get Tedero McMillan the ball because he does have some focus drops and because he is the focus of the defense and all of these other things. Jalen Coker, get him the ball. I don't think there are two sides to that story. The guy makes contested catches at an alarming rate for somebody with his physical skill set. Right? He's not, and there's no disrespect to him. I'm pleased. He's not Megatron, right? He's not 6'5", jumping higher than everybody, throw it up and he'll go get it. This is Jalen Coker somehow coming down with a lot of footballs where he's well guarded, including the touchdown. Get him the ball.
Made that catch in a pouring rainstorm too.
Yeah, no, and we've seen him going back to last year do it in every situation, raining, maybe not snowing, but sunshine, rain, downfield, inbreakers, outbreakers. He's just a good receiver.
You're starting to see him play more because you look at actually the snap count from last game. He played 92% of the snaps. Legette just 31%.
Yeah, Legette. There's an inarguable statement to make about Legette that's not as complimentary as I just said about Jalen Coker. But I'm staying optimistic, trying to at least. They need to, and I'm going to say something that sounds ridiculous, but stick with me. An ineffective run game is better than no run game for the Carolina Panthers right now. They need to stay committed to it as long as the game is within reach, right? As long as you're not down a ton, you have to stay committed to it because your pass game works better off of it. If you look at the box score there, Bucky Irving for Tampa Bay had 26 carries. He only averaged 3.3 yards per carry. That's not great. His longest run was his first run of the game for 9 yards. From that point forward, Bucky Irving was not unbelievably impressive running the ball, yet they finished with 26 carries for Bucky Irving alone. The entire Carolina Panthers team had 14. One of them was a kneel down by Bryce. 12 by the running backs, 5 for Chuba Hubbard, 7 for Rico Dowdle. Now, I'm not saying they were doing a lot with him, right? I'm not pretending, they were averaging 6 yards a carry, although we've seen them abandon the run while averaging more yards per carry than this. It wasn't good, but it's still the engine of your offense. If you looked at some of the time of possession numbers, it was grotesque at times. And your defense is going to wear down and give up some plays late in the game if they're asked to be on the field all darn day. You made the postseason because the Falcons had your back. Shout out to Raheem Morris. He was fired by the Atlanta Falcons today. His last act in office was granting the Panthers a pardon and sending them to the postseason. Shout out to Bijan Robinson. Shout out to Drake London. Somebody send them some Bojangles as a thank you. Which is, by the way, a good little rivalry deal as well because I know they're Chick-fil-A people down there in Atlanta.
Yeah, they are.
You send the Bojangles as a thank you, but also kind of a here's the good stuff, right? It's still rivalries. Got to get your
send them some Pepsi.
There we go. My point is this. You made it anyway. The game, not great. You should be on your P's and Q's. You should be more motivated than ever because you have a second chance. I think Dave Canales should play the replacement speech for the Panthers today. Right? second chances, no tomorrow for you, all of that kind of stuff is the late great Gene Hackman. All of that applies to the Carolina Panthers right now. They did not put themselves in the postseason over the last 2 weeks. They're there anyway. Don't waste that opportunity. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Up next, we have 2 minutes of gold from Adam Gold, all about the Canes' win yesterday over the New Jersey Devils, and see who makes the Dean's List. Stick around.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. During hockey season, I'm bouncing from coast to coast like a puck on ice. But when I'm back in town, I always head to Buffalo Brothers for the best wings on the planet. And check this out. Now they have a new flavor, Chili Lime. You can't beat the great specials at all 5 Triangle locations, like half-price pizzas, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6. You can dine in or carry out. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending and Cary. With the Federal Reserve cutting rates, the most frequent question we get is, do I wait for rates to go lower, or should I take the savings and just act now? At Miller Lending, we toss all the timing questions aside with our popular no-cost program. With no fees charged or added to your loan amount, you simply close on today's rates and refinance again as rates fall. With many economists predicting rates in the 5s next year, why pay upwards of $15,000 to $20,000 in closing costs just to get a rate you may get for no cost next spring? Imagine the freedom to use that money for more important things than reducing your payment by the extra $50. Recently, we've noticed a trend of related party transactions as some of the nation's largest lenders have bought real estate or mortgage lead sites, driving closing costs even higher. Please don't throw away all that cash or equity when all you wanted was a lower payment. Call Miller Lending and see why a no-cost loan is the right loan for you. 919-447-3377, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender on MLS number 250-2146.
Football season's here. That means it's time to pick a side. Are you NFC or AFC? Thursday night games on the couch or Sunday tailgates with the crowd? Either way, it's time to gear up and get ready for the action. Fall is time to root for your favorite football team. Make Macy's your go-to destination for all your NFL fan apparel needs. You'll find NFL properties, Pro Standard, New Era, and more. Shop in-store and at Macy's.com.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
As Cousins has a lot of time and throws for the end zone. That's a touchdown, Falcons. Drake London all alone sitting back there.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Carolina Panthers going to the postseason. We were looking at some of the results from polls and things that we put up before the season.
Maybe during the year.
I don't think I'm in the actually, I know I'm not in the minority based on those poll results to say didn't expect it. Do you know what's actually crazy though?
What's that?
We were kind of right on with the win total.
We said 7-9,
which obviously 8 would fall within.
Yeah.
I just didn't think that'd be enough to make the postseason.
NFC South, baby.
Not a single winner amongst them.
By the way, we ran those polls on our 99.9 The Fan app, which is free. Which, by the way, if you're not able to call in on Monday Soundoff or not able to do that, just download the app. Make sure if you're a registered user, you can leave us a voice memo through the app. Might play it on air for you at some point. Share your thoughts.
And also, that's an allusion to. We do have Monday Soundoff today. At 4:15, phone lines will be open. You can call in live, voice your opinion on anything in sports, right? If you want to talk Canes, if you want to talk Panthers playoffs, Panthers losing to the Bucs, Bryce Young, Dave Canales, defense, offense, whatever. College sports, obviously, as I mentioned, Carolina Hurricanes and every different conversation surrounding them. We'll open up the phone lines at 4:15 15. So stick around, and you can bookmark the number, 919-860-5326. Don't call in now. We'll let you know when, but that will be the number, the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Speaking of the Carolina Hurricanes, speaking of covering it from every different angle, here's 2 minutes of gold from our very own Adam Gold.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I've got 2 minutes for two players who helped Carolina not blow a 2-goal lead and get 2 points in the process. Yes, glory! Parkway Sleep Health Centers brings us this, parkwaysleep.com. All right, let's start with a little muscle memory. That's right. It was only 8 years ago that Taylor Hall was the MVP, the Hart Trophy winner of the National Hockey League, and he went into the Wayback Machine last night.
Stahl, he'll be able to chip one on the backhand in, and pressuring all the way and scoring! What a goal, Taylor Hall! On the forecheck, he created something out of nothing, and that something is a 2-1 lead for Carolina.
Great goal. Off the stick of Luke Hughes, who, as an unrelated topic, had a rough night for the New Jersey Devils. Nearly a hat trick of own goals. And then the setup to Logan Stankoven was just a great play, stealing it from the goalie and getting it out in front to Logan, who had not scored in 11 games, so that was a big development as well. Taylor Hall, muscle memory night. But the story we were all wondering about, would Brandon Bussi bounce back from the very difficult game against Montreal on New Year's night? Well, he did.
Hughes with it, shot, Bussi makes the save, rebounds out, Bussi with another save, and he'll cover it up. 3 chances there for the Devils, and Brandon Bussi closes the door.
28 saves, solid from start to finish, everything you were hoping for, because it does appear that Carolina has a goalie who will last for this season. Brandon Bussi answered the bell in a difficult spot against a very good team that needed a win, and Carolina was able to protect a 2-goal lead for the first time in a minute. It has been a struggle with that, but Carolina did it. They win it 3-1. They get 2 points, extend their lead in the Metro, and now we can all rest easy. Parkway Sleep, who better to help us rest easy? Sound sleep, sound health, Soundoff for muscle memory and a goalie of the near future.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Hopefully goalie for the near future, the present, and the future, and
the goalie for the right now.
And any kind of time period. Still just, what is he, just 27 years old. 27-year-old rookie. But Brandon Bussi, I've said it a bunch of times, and we're going to continue talking about it. Goalies, pitchers, quarterbacks, corners, you need amnesia, right? Bad performances have to just absolutely leave your brain and go right back to being confident. Montreal, bad performance. New Jersey, looked confident, right back to it. It's a good sign. It's a very good sign. Right now, it's a good sign to jump into the Dean's List. There it is. Let's put it in session. This is where we highlight those that deserve a little extra praise in the college sports world that we hold so near and dear here in the Triangle. I'll start with Duke, North Carolina, Louisville, Virginia, and SMU men's basketball. First AP poll of 2026 came out. Those 5 from the ACC ranked. Duke 6th, Carolina 17th, Louisville 20th, Virginia 23rd, SMU 24th.
Let's go.
Also receiving votes, Clemson, Cal, Miami, and Virginia Tech.
Let's go.
That's what we're talking about now, right? So State and Carolina dropped some games over the weekend that you feel like maybe they shouldn't have won, but they should have played a lot better than they played. But they're both to ranked opponents, right? They're ranked losses. As we saw with the College Football Playoff Committee, right? Ranked losses almost don't even count. If you're playing somebody good and you lose, well, okay. That's what the committee says, right?
Also, ACC basketball,
Mm-hmm.
8 teams in the top 40 of net rankings right now.
Look at that.
8 in the top 40.
Yeah, I guess we should go. For some reason, net counts more than everything else.
That does. Duke is 7, Louisville's 14, UNC 22, SMU 24, Virginia 25, Clemson 34, Miami 36, NC State 37.
Good for the ACC.
Let's go. Let's go.
A lot of quads being discussed there.
So many quads.
So we want the low quads. Don't want the high quads.
Want the quad ones, baby.
More Dean's List here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. I am putting this isn't virtuous, it's financial. College football NIL agents.
Oh, God.
Have you seen some of the numbers about the portal already? Portal opened up on Friday.
It's insane.
I saw this was on Sunday, according to, I think it was DraftKings. 4,500 plus. So over 4,500 names were in the portal already 2 days into the portal being open. And as far as math goes, they calculated it. That's about 31.5% of all college football players with eligibility to return were in the transfer portal. That's just a lot of agents saying, you should leave, we should get more money. And then taking, and here's the other crazy part. I have a buddy that is a agent, and he does some NIL stuff. He's trying to be an NFL agent, but you got to pay the bills. He said it's pretty commonplace for agents to take anywhere between 3 and 30% of NIL money.
Goodness.
Because unlike the NFL, where the Players Association certifies agents and there's rules on what percentage you're able to take of team contracts and marketing and all these other things, there are no rules in college. It's the wild, wild west. There's no certified agents. There's no limits. So if you convince a player to sign and you convince them to sign for you get 30% of the money they make, you get 30% of the money they make. I wouldn't say it's, the least sleazy thing I've ever heard, but it might be good business.
It's pretty sleazy.
Yeah, it's maybe the sleaziest thing. But it is also probably lucrative. So there you go. Take advantage of kids, just like college football has intended.
There you go.
Young men. I don't want to say kids. They are adults. Do you have any Dean's Listers? I have one more here.
I don't.
Okay, perfect. Billy Edwards Jr.
Who?
Committed to UNC out of the portal from Wisconsin, a quarterback. I didn't realize this. This is the confusing part of college football. And actually, I have a request for college football broadcasts next year. When you put the graphics in the lower third that show like the player, their headshot, and it says usually, like 6'2", 225 dash sophomore. Can you put underneath it all of the schools that they played for? Because I just want to know, do you know where Billy Edwards, who, by the way, committed to UNC, and Gio Lopez, the quarterback from last year, almost immediately went into the portal. So Billy Edwards Jr., looks like he's in the plans. Do you know where he started his college career? Wake Forest.
Yeah.
He went from Wake Forest to Maryland to Wisconsin, all to come just like short drive away from where it all started at Carolina.
Full circle moment.
And there's so many like, oh, it is that guy. Like, gosh forbid if your name is like Joe Smith. Is it the Joe Smith that was at this school and that school and that? Like, it's. Is that the Billy Edwards that was at Wake Forest backing up what probably would have been Sam Hartman deep on the depth chart for a year? Maybe Riley Skinner? How long has this guy been in college? Anyway, he's made it all the way back to North Carolina.
Real quick, I actually do have a few names I want to throw on the Dean's list here.
Let's hear it.
The North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame announced their 2026 class,
true.
which includes Tyler Hansbrough from UNC, Leonard Hamilton, who's from Gastonia, but obviously a longtime Florida State head coach, the current coach of Houston, Kelvin Sampson, who's a Pembroke native.
That feels targeted.
What?
You're gonna take advantage of a Duke collapse and then get put in the North. He could have been in the North Carolina Hall of Fame like 15 years ago.
Well, he's there now.
Credit to Kelvin Sampson. I'm just giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
And Leonard Hamilton and Hansbrough and all of the other recipients, but obviously those with the college connections.
Yeah, quite a few. Like Richard Huntley went to Winston-Salem State, played football there. Also, Lewis Breeden played at NC Central, was drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals, played 10 years with them, so starting 115 games. So a lot of guys, quite a few people that evolved from the state of North Carolina, but specifically with college connections.
Word on the street is, this is like secondhand, third hand. Somebody said it's somebody who said it's somebody. Hansbrough might be on his way to the Pickleball Hall of Fame. Guy is taking it seriously.
All right, there you go.
pretty much in every basketball Hall of Fame, at least college, he can be in. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Dean's List. Go ahead and dismiss. If there were a Hall of Fame for keeping your house up and running, Manor Service Company would be first ballot. Their owner, Brett, he would be like the elder statesman in there. Only instead of a like gold jacket, you probably got some kind of a work jacket, because Brett puts in the work just like his technicians. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical. Maybe you had a whole bunch of people over at your house, or maybe you went to someone else's house for the holidays and you came home and you walked in and you were expecting a certain temperature of air because you had the heat on and maybe, however else you regulate your temperature. You walked in and it wasn't what you were hoping for. Or you heard a funny sound when you turned on the heat for the first time in a while because you were out of town. If you see the early signs of something not working right, call Manor Service Company right away. What you don't want to have happen is have one of these below freezing nights that we get every once in a while randomly, and then your heat doesn't work. Right? You want to get it all fixed up ahead of time. And that goes for your heating, your cooling, your plumbing, your electrical. If when you turn the water on for a shower, you're hearing a clunk you're not used to, call Manor Service Company. Do it first. Do it early. Save yourself some money and time and, more importantly, some stress. The number to call for Manor Service, 919-361-0993. That's heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical work. 919-361-0993, or visit them online at manorservices.com. That's MAYNOR services.com. Up next, winners and losers, and we're going to the entirety of the NFL. Regular season in the books. Who are the big winners and the big losers? Stick around.
Stay informed with The Rundown, the daily newsletter from High School OT that delivers high school sports news and insights straight to your inbox. Brought to you by High School OT and powered by our sponsors, First Carolina Bank and Smith Douglas Homes. Subscribe to The Rundown at highschoolot.com.
When sleep isn't working, everything feels harder. Your health, your patience, your focus, even your relationships. I'm Megan Giggling with Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Too often, people are told to wait months or even years just to talk to a sleep specialist. But untreated sleep problems don't wait. At Parkway, care begins within weeks with home sleep studies and fast, coordinated support so people can move forward instead of staying stuck. Better sleep changes everything.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. All right, let's paint the scenario here. I need windows, but man, I don't have 3 hours to go through the process of deciding what I need, when I need it. Can you help at the Aluminum Company?
Absolutely. So, first of all, when we come out to your house to look at your windows, typical window appointment may last 45 minutes, an hour. We're certainly not going to make a 4 or 5 hour commitment to talk about windows. We're there to help.
Serve dinner last time.
Right. Listen, my wife always says, I talk to my wife all the time when we have salespeople, whatever we're doing. And my wife, I tell her all the time, I can't stand salespeople. And she laughs. She's like, you are a salesperson. I'm like, well, the difference is I'm just having a conversation trying to help people get what they want. I'm not there to pressure you. You're just there to help you get in and out. And it's a pretty quick appointment. It's pretty efficient. So we're there to help you and make it quick.
I can vouch for that. The Aluminum Company of North Carolina, online at aluminumcompany.com.
Mayfield has time. Down the middle, throws an interception. Picked off by Christian Roseboom. And Roseboom makes the plays. The Panthers looking for a spark here.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The NFL season, regular edition, has come to a close. We know who's in the postseason. We know who's out. We don't know the award winners yet, but we know the favorites. And with that as the setup, let's do an NFL season-long look-back edition of Winners and Losers.
This team will never lose again.
Who won and who lost this NFL season? And we're talking vibes as much as we are talking, this team won more games. Before we do jump into the NFL season-long edition of Winners and Losers, there is one non-football winner that I want to give credit to, that I want to highlight real quick. And if you know this person or if you Follow them on social media. You can give them a shout-out as well. I would encourage that you do. Mike Maniscalco.
Let's go, Mike.
Voice of the Carolina Hurricanes has been named the North Carolina Sportscaster of the Year.
Let's go, Mike.
Congratulations to Mike Maniscalco. His partner in crime, Trip Tracy, had it a couple years ago. Mike Maniscalco, the well-deserved recipient this year. Obviously, we're a big fan. I feel like I know him a lot better than he knows me because I'm watching every game and everything else. But friend of the show, friend of the program, obviously friend of the station, part of the station. Mike Maniscalco, North Carolina Sportscaster of the Year. He's a winner. Tell him congratulations when you see him. Now we'll get to the NFL edition of winners and losers. I will lead off with a loser. The referees from the Panthers Bucs game. Bruh. Should we go over some of them? How in the world does a Buccaneer, and I think this is actually the worst one, and it's not even a flag they threw, it's a flag they didn't throw. Mm-hmm. How does a Buccaneer rip off the helmet after the whistle, not in a scrum, like out separate where it's like there's, it's a desert, there's no trees in the way. Like they were just out in the open, rips the helmet off, and the refs look at it like that's just good post snap. They're dapping each other up. We're going to let that one go.
It's like we're at the 30, my helmet's on the 12. How'd it get there? I didn't throw it.
Like, he has my helmet. What am I supposed to do here? That should be one of those, like in hockey, where, like, if you draw blood, it's an automatic, like, let's go review it, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah.
Like, if the other team is possessing your helmet, automatic review. Let's go see how it happened. Did it fall off and they were picking it up for you? Did they rip it off? Like, just, let's go see.
The replay, this is what I think. You have replay assist. Mm-hmm. Replay assist should buzz down like, hey, guys, there's something completely egregious happened that after the play, number 8, personal foul, Tampa Bay, 15 yards, keep it moving. Like, you have people there. We all saw it, except for the 8 people in stripes, for some reason didn't, that millions of people saw, and the tens of thousands of people in the stadium saw. How did they not see that?
Saints receiver trips over his own feet. That's DPI on the Carolina Panthers, obviously. Tedero McMillan, what I thought was like a good release on a defensive back in the press area trying to throw him off his route, I believe was completely legal. 31-yard reception taken away. Offensive pass interference, the call. Rico Dowdle drops a pass, but obviously a backward pass. Scoops it up, kind of gets that lucky basketball dribble bounce that occasionally happens. He doesn't get to continue running into what was wide open field because they blew the whistle. Then randomly they're calling it a fumble out of bounds, and they're making him lose 6 yards. They should have had the opportunity to replay the down once the inadvertent whistle. Anyway, not a good day for the refs. They're losers.
Let's be honest. NFL officiating this year, I think, has overall just been bad.
Here's the
objectively,
issue.
It's been bad.
Going back to what you're saying, we have the benefit of replay and they don't. So we see all of the, like back in the day when there was no like super slow-mo instant replay, we didn't know the refs were bad. They were probably bad. We now have more information than the refs. Give them the information we have. Have a Sky official that can just buzz down and say.
Exactly. That's what I said.
Yeah, that's a foul. That's going to be a penalty. Number 57, 10 yards. Like, that's all it takes. That's all it takes.
For egregious stuff, yes, absolutely.
Winner. Tedero McMillan. Tedero McMillan with 114 receiving yards, only rookie to hit 1,000, most in Panthers rookie history. He's just a good player, and he made good plays. He should have had more yards than that. They were taken away. But still, you get to be a winner for that. Do you have some winners and losers, Dennis, before I rapid fire?
So I definitely had the loser being the officials from this past Saturday. It was bad. Also want to say winners. Actually, I'm going to say maybe losers in this regard. Maybe the grounds crew at Raymond James Stadium, because you got to go clean and patch that grass up, but you're a winner. There's no games coming up, so you don't have to worry about getting it done anytime soon. So you win in that regard.
Loser, the NFC South.
Yeah.
No one in the division has a winning record. You got to be a loser for that.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no winners on amongst the lot of you.
I don't care if you have 3 teams that had at least 8 wins this season. No one's above 500.
Yeah, 3 teams with exactly 8 wins this season. Loser, the Raiders. They fired their coach today, Pete Carroll, which means they are already on a streak of 3 coaches in 3 years. That's going to go to 4. Josh McDaniels fired, Antonio Pierce interim. Then the next year, Antonio Pierce head coach, fired. Pete Carroll hired 1 year, fired. Whoever's next will be the fourth coach in 4 years. It's tough when like Panther fans are looking at you going, that's really unstable at the
right
at the top of their coaching. Let's get some winners. Winner, Drake May. He may not win MVP, former UNC quarterback now with New England, because Matt Stafford had a banana season and he kind of gets the Lifetime Achievement Award of like, this is for all of the good years you had. But Drake May would be a deserving MVP. He led the league in completion percentage and yards per attempt. He is just the third quarterback to ever do that. 2007, Tom Brady. That's the undefeated, broke all the records Tom Brady. And 2001, Kurt Warner, which is greatest show on turf, broke a lot of records, Kurt Warner. They both won MVP. So Drake May would be a deserving MVP. I don't know if he gets it, but he's a winner in my book. Another winner, Josh Allen. Josh Allen's going into the postseason with the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, all watching from home. That's like his core group of peers that he competes against. Whatever he does in the postseason, he's gaining grounds on Mahomes, and depending on where you have him ranked elsewhere, he's either gaining ground, like putting ground between him and them when it comes to Burrow and Jackson, or chasing down maybe Lamar. So there's a very good kind of spotlight opportunity for Josh Allen with so many of the other kind of next guard of quarterbacks not in the game.
Winner, Buffalo Bills. I say that in the sense of those throwback uniforms they wore yesterday. Wear those all the time, please and thank you. Those are gorgeous.
If anyone watched Scott Van Pelt after the game last night, every time they played highlights, he just reminded teams that they're allowed to wear those jerseys every game. He's like, hey, Broncos, you're allowed to. No one says you can't. Hey, Bills, you're allowed to. You can wear those every – and then there was one more. Maybe the Chargers. You can wear those every time. Trust me. No one will complain.
Yes. So, yes, winner. Also, real quick, winner, Sunday Night Football last night. Fantastic finish.
Bananas game.
Wild.
Bananas game. I was in a group chat. I sent something in like early in the fourth. No response, so I knew they were all asleep. I had a conversation with myself. I was just sending updates to them on a game that they weren't going to know about till they saw the final score because I was just excited. Loser. Actually, no, this is a hybrid. Winner, loser. Ready? Winner, Derek Brown. 5 sacks, which is 2 more than he's had in any year in his career. Same impact on the run game. Completely different defense for the Carolina Panthers with him in there this year. Loser, Pro Bowl selectors. How he is not one of the 3 best defensive tackles in the league or in the conference, let alone league. Ridiculous. He simply is, and he should be, and that's fact. All right, this will be my last one because I have a little bit of a rant coming here, Dennis. Loser, Michael Strahan.
I'll take the music down on this one. Go on.
So Myles Garrett broke the record over the weekend for most sacks in a season. I, for the life of me, cannot figure out why the NFL doesn't make season-long records. Instead of going by raw totals, go by per team game. He played a whole other game more than Michael Strahan did, right? TJ Watt tied Michael Strahan a couple years ago where the Steelers played 17 games. Michael Strahan had his record, 22.5 sacks, in 16 games. That's better. Michael Strahan is basically 1.40 something sacks per game, which is still the most per team game played. Myles Garrett now has 23 sacks, but it took him another game. I don't know why they do that, or unless they just want record-breaking performances, so they add one more game and then go, we broke the season total. I'm like, well, you don't know it. Strahan might have had a 3-sack game in the last one. And it's going to just keep happening. That's why I love it when a record, here's how it should be. When a record is broken through 16 games, because I'm like, okay, cool, you're the deserving owner. Now go pile on in weeks through 17 games, and that'll be the new record that we'll acknowledge. But if you don't break it in the same amount of games that everybody else did, you're just playing more. It's a volume thing. Like, imagine if you went 10 for 10 shooting free throws, and I came in and went, I made 11. How many did you take? 35. You wouldn't expect me to be the better shooter. I just had more volume. End rant. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget Monday Soundoff, about 20 minutes from now, maybe a little less, where you can call in and have a rant of your own, like I just kind of had. Whatever you're stewing on, you can sound off. Canes, Panthers, college, whatever it is, that's at 4:15. At 4 o'clock, however, you know what time that is. It's football at 4 coming up.
Now, let's take a short break from our 8-hour ode to the oboe for a word from our sponsor, Mr. First Tuesday. Get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday. Looks like we've got a caller on the line.
How are you not more excited about new scratch-offs? There's millions in prizes.
Who is this?
Oh, this is Mr. First Tuesday. And by the way, it goes, get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
You know, Coach is right down the street. And I thought this was hilarious. I actually introduced him to Mike at Mike's 60th birthday the other day. And he walked up to Mike Wheelis, and they realized that they went to Carolina at the same time. You are right here in Apex, North Carolina.
Yep.
He has a massive office where they're taking care of people day in and day out. And he would love to sit down with you and create a plan.
You know, Amanda, I've noticed an alarming trend lately where a lot of advisors from other states are trying to use AI and use a lot of advertising to get people to do a Zoom meeting with them, and all of a sudden you're sending them a check to a different state. I would never do that. So we're local. Come see us. Come. We have 27,000 square feet here in the Coach Pete land, we call it, in Apex. Come see us. Get some of my books when you come in. But more importantly, let's get a plan designed for you and your family. Call now. Let's design that perfect plan.
Call Coach today, 919-794-7900. 919-794-7900, or text Amanda to 600-700.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
Leaves, water, debris. Hi, this is Hallie with RoofWorks. There are a lot of things that can wreak havoc on your commercial property, and we are proud to be there for our dedicated customers that depend on us. From helping to design and build the roof for new construction, to maintenance, repair, and replacements, we've got the experience that you can count on. At RoofWorks, we don't want to be the biggest, we just want to be the best. Visit us at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It's comfortable out there this afternoon. That sunshine's making it feel nice. Temperatures will be in the mid-50s, which is close to normal for this time of year. Not as cold tonight, 41 degrees, and partly cloudy again tomorrow. And we begin a warm-up. Tomorrow's highs in the mid-60s.
Weather update brought to you by Blue Shark Vodka. Blue Shark Vodka, the world's smoothest vodka. Pour Blue Shark Vodka at all of your events to lift everyone's spirits. Blue Shark Vodka, the shark that doesn't bite. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones today up 603 points at the closing bell to 48,985.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
Football at 4. You can set your watch by it. Here on The Drive, we talk pigskin at 4 o'clock. And today, that's not difficult. Carolina Panthers are going to the postseason. 8-9 final record, but they own a bunch of tiebreakers. So the fact that the Falcons, as well as the Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers, all finished 8-9 was all it took. Carolina Panthers going to the postseason. Now, if you listen to this show, first of all, awesome, you're the real MVP. Second of all, you know that I like to judge football teams by how well they play football. Huh? Crazy idea, right? Crazy notion. I don't like to watch – I like to watch football. I like to judge teams with the eye test. But if I watch a game and one team scores more points than the other, I don't care which one looks better to me. The scoreboard tells me who played better football that game. And there is no arguing that since Dave Canales has shown up with the Carolina Panthers, each year they've played football better. They've improved. They've won more games than they had the year before. And that is important. And there's no doubt in my mind that making the postseason is wildly important. And it is the goal, right? And most teams, divide their calendar up into seasons, right? It's the preseason, the regular season, the postseason. And you can reset after each of them, right? So there's a reset. Everybody starts at the same position outside of the team with buys, and anything is possible moving forward. With all of that being said, I don't think an 8-9 record is enough to thwart you, to stop you from still having some pretty big discussions about what you're going to get out of your quarterback, your coach, your play callers, your main core moving forward. Now, I'm not going to do the thing where they're still in the postseason and we're going to sit here and debate who should be doing what next year, right? There's plenty of time. There's an entire offseason for that. But what I am going to do is tell you this. However much stake you put in a game for evaluating coaches, leaders, quarterbacks, times it by like 5 for what they put on the field this week. We judge quarterbacks especially. We judge play callers. We judge coaches by how they handle the playoffs. And it's actually one of the really, really hard things of judging young quarterbacks on bad teams or young coaches on bad teams because we never get to see them in the postseason. We never get to see how they react to the bright lights. We never get to see how they can stare down Sean McVay across the field or Matt Stafford across the field and if they can keep up or not. So this is extremely valuable information coming our way about somebody like Bryce Young. Is he going to, ready for this, do the biggest version of the Bryce Young thing? Do you know what stat? Because admittedly, I have not always been complimentary of Bryce Young. I think that's fair, right? I think when you're the quarterback of an NFL franchise, you understand what you are in for, right? You're in for the microscope. You're in for the spotlight and everybody dissecting everything. The Bryce fans out there that have argued against, which I always love a good disagreement, most often cite the game-winning drives, right? They most often cite how he has shown up at the end of a game in winning time, even in games where he didn't play great, right? He might go into the drive with 100 passing yards, but he finds a way to get points when they need it, and he does so at a pretty good clip. Well, if we were to go big version of that, right? Take one game and blow it up to a season. Wouldn't that mean like this is game-winning drive time? Right? The first all but the last 2 minutes of a game during the regular season, it's been up and down, right? More downs than ups, I would say, but the ups have been very, very high. He's only thrown for more than 400 yards 4 times. That's including this past weekend in a bad loss. He's had some bad turnovers that have dug holes that they've either been able to or at times not been able to dig themselves out of. You're 8-9. You're in the postseason. That's got to be the equivalent of playing bad for all but the last 2 minutes, yet still somehow having a chance to put the ball in your quarterback's hand with 70 yards staring at him, needing to get in field goal range. You have one timeout, and it's 90 seconds on the clock. If he goes into this Rams game and plays like he doesn't feel the pressure and plays like he knows they're going to work their way into scoring position, like he has at times on those game-winning drives, I'll be the first to say, all right, let's take that into account, and that's going to change the calculus on Bryce. I've criticized Dave Canales' play calling quite a bit. I don't think I think it's weird that he like abandons the run when it feels like they need to commit harder. And then sometimes he commits harder to the run or to a specific running back when it feels like you need to make the the flexible move here. When they're pushing it downfield for a game and it's working, the next game it's all screen passes and passes at the line of scrimmage. I think sometimes he overthinks it. Sometimes he gets cute. If he puts together a great game plan and dials up unpredictable plays to put his team in the best situation against the Rams, which, by the way, I think he had one of his better play calling games against the Rams earlier this year. If they do that, I will change the calculus on him. Right? The postseason has the ability to do that. And the postseason has the ability, like, I mean, how many times have we seen it across all of sports where somebody plays like an all-star for a postseason run, and then the next year they get their first all-star, right? It's like they level up in those pressure moments, then they can stay there moving forward. So I'm not here on Monday with Saturday being the opening of the postseason for the Carolina Panthers at home in the afternoon against the Rams. I'm not here to start already saying this is what they need to do next year. This is what they need to do next year. This is what they can't do next year. This is what they need to move on from by next year. But what I am saying is I'm going to have my notebook open with at least one page that says notes for next year when I'm watching this postseason game. Because legacies change. I think abilities change. I think confidence changes. I think the lessons learned are more ingrained. I think the postseason makes everything more amplified. And because of that, there's as I've said, I mean, how many times? It feels like 10. This is the biggest game the Panthers have played since Cam Newton hurt his shoulder. This year they've had the biggest game that the Panthers have played since Cam Newton hurt his shoulder. What game is this? Will be 18. Feels like 18 of them, but yeah. At least 5 or 6 of them. It's huge for so many reasons, but it's even more sizable for those two guys I'm mentioning, Bryce Young and Dave Canales. I mean, Dave Canales called a flea flicker in a rain game on the edge of the red zone with one of your only momentum drives of the game. That is hopefully learning the lines between unpredictable and reckless, right? Because unpredictable is a necessity with this offense. Mm-hmm. You don't have Derrick Henry where it's like, the Lamar Jackson could be at the line going, we're going to hand it to Derrick Henry going right. It's going to be off tackle, and he picks up 9 yards. Like, you can't be predictable with the talent you have on offense, but reckless will set you far back. Reckless will do more damage than good. If he plays unpredictable, flirts with the line of reckless, and keeps it in his lane against the Rams, I will be wildly impressed. And then you can start talking about, this might be a big game coach. This might be a guy you can do more with than I've basically judged over his first 2 years calling plays for the Carolina Panthers. And the same would be true with Bryce. I mean, you can be, no disrespect, Eli Manning, right? You can be mediocre most of the time, but squeak in with a wild card appearance like the Giants have done and win the Super Bowl if you have that guy who steps up in the biggest moments. It's hilarious watching because right now he's a finalist for the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. Hearing the debates where it's like you put stats up with him and the other quarterbacks that are elite of his era, and you're like, well, he doesn't belong. And then you just go 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and it's like, all right, probably gets in next class. You can change everything about yourself, everything about the way people see you as a coach and quarterback in the postseason. So I'm going to open it up, right? I have hard and fast opinions about both of these guys. I'm going to significantly let them change by what we see in the postseason. By the way, head coach and quarterback, they're really the only 2 positions in football that we attach win-loss records to. right? When Myles Garrett goes into the Hall of Fame, no one's going to put his win-loss total up there. No one's going to put, but he didn't win a Super Bowl. Like or if he does later on, who knows? But like no one's going to do that. And coordinators, no one's ever like, that defensive coordinator didn't win enough. No, you look at points per game and yards per game, and you put all the context in, and he had these players on his roster, and you got this out of them. Quarterbacks and head coaches, we count rings and we count win-loss records. So now that they're in the postseason, if we're going to change the legacy or change the reputation of anybody on the Panthers, it's going to be Bryce Young and it's going to be Dave Canales. Derek Brown, he's already seen as great, right? Like Xavier Legette, he's already seen as maybe not so great, right? And those are built over a long period of time because that's how we treat every position that's not head coach and quarterback. So I'm watching. Does it sound like a threat? I'm watching you.
Kind of does.
Yeah, well.
Trust me, we're all going to be watching.
I was going to say.
the only game on.
True. And it's the postseason. You want everybody watching you. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We do have Monday Soundoff coming up in just a couple of minutes. But before we open up those phone lines, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here from my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. We've all turned the calendar year over here, 2026. You're thinking new year, new me. I know every single one of you out there has thought in some way, shape, or form about some sort of fitness, weight loss, being healthier through this new year type deal, whether it's eating better, exercising more, all that kind of stuff. Everyone has had that thought. Look no further than Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've been on that program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and I've lost over 40 pounds, 42. And the nice thing about the Raleigh Weight Loss Center program, well, a few things. One, no shots or injections, no steroids, no surgeries, none of that kind of stuff. Just resetting your metabolism. That way your body can do its natural thing. And even during the holidays, eating all those delicious, high-caloric foods, I didn't gain any weight, actually, during the holidays because my metabolism has been reset and restarted. That's one of the benefits about Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Not only have I lost the weight, I've been able to maintain it. And you can get on that program as well. Give Raleigh Weight Loss Center a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call, okay? Free 15-minute phone call. Figure out if the program is the right thing for you. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if you have health issues, bring all that to the table. Find out if the program is right for you. That way you can move forward with confidence. They've helped thousands of people, including myself, lose anywhere between 10 to 20% of their body weight. I've lost over 15% of my body weight thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And I would like to continue to lose more. And I know exactly how to do that thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. 919-897-7506 or visit them online, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up that free 15-minute phone consultation. Results may vary.
It's time, everybody, and I have a feeling it's going to be spicy. We are opening the Heister Automotive Group hotline for a Monday Soundoff. If there's anything in sports you want to sound off on, we want to hear it. Call in now, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. If you don't get through calling in the first time, keep trying. Lines will continue to open as the segment goes along. Monday Soundoff is coming up next. Call in 919-860-5326. Next, right here on The Drive.
Do you have a smartphone? Of course you do. Do you have a pocket or pouch or human hand to hold your smartphone? Then you have no excuse. Download the 99.9 The Fan brand new app today and take us with you wherever you go. Your favorite hosts, podcasts, and live sports action all in one place. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Finally, there's an app for 99.9 The Fan. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What? You expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Dine in, drive through, or tap your favorite delivery app and have Bojangles come to you. Satisfy your craving for flavor right now with Bojangles 2-piece dinner. 2 pieces of Bojangles dark meat chicken, your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and iced tea for just $6.99. That's right, just $6.99 for limited time at participating Bojangles. What are you waiting for? When you're hungry, it's always Bo time.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I love seeing the old gang at these reunions.
Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How is that even possible?
Yep, I ran into him a few weeks ago and had to ask. He told me he started taking Nugenix Total T2.
The testosterone booster?
Yeah, but it's way more than that now. It also skyrockets your nitric oxide in as little as 3 hours. I started taking it right away and I'm already seeing results.
I was wondering what you were doing. You seriously crushed me in that pickup game last week.
Yep, after 40, energy, strength, drive, it all starts going downhill. But with T2, I feel like my old self again. Stronger, leaner, and my energy is way up. My wife even noticed a difference. They're giving out complimentary bottles right now. Just send them a text.
Text ROCK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of new Nugenix Total T2. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's ROCK to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Product not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Tyler Shough, and it is intercepted. The Falcon take away D. Alford on his way. Eventually slowed down.
That's how we do it, man. Dirty Bird, let's go, rise up. Great doors against the Aints, baby. Let's go. Let's get it, man. Great way to finish the season with the bros, man. Rise up, baby.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The phone lines have opened for a Monday Soundoff. They are full at the moment, but keep calling, everybody. 919-860-5326, Heister Automotive Group Hotline. We start with Reggie in Sanford wants to sound off on some college football and, of course, the Carolina Panthers. Reggie in Sanford, you're our leadoff hitter. Start us off right.
Well, I want to say with the ACC bowl season, you're right. You're right. We are doing well in the bowl season. We just have a better record than the SEC, and that's awesome. And two, with the Panthers playoff season, bird is the word. Bird is the word. And it was just a good win for the Falcons.
Oh, I get it. Bird is the word, celebrating the Dirty Birds for the Carolina Falcons. Goodness, the Atlanta Falcons. I get what you're going. I get where you're going with that. Anything else you want to add quickly here?
Well, Miami is going to win it all.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the call. Call back in anytime. They're 1-4, and Ole Miss doesn't have a coach, and who knows how many of their offensive coaches are leaving to join Lane Kiffin this week. So there's a possibility. Once you beat Ohio State, anything is possible. Back to the call-in line here on the Heister Automotive Group Hotline. Liam in Cary wants to sound off on the Carolina Panthers. Liam, welcome to the show. The floor is yours. Go ahead and sound off.
Thanks for having me on. I just wanted to say that the Carolina Panthers can't play scared in the playoffs. They have to know what they want, and they have to play like they're trying to win the Super Bowl, not like they're trying to lose not like they don't want to lose the Super Bowl, and not get to the next round. And the defense has to play good and show up, and they have to play. They might have Robert Hunt back, so they should try to throw the ball more and get Teteroa McMillan involved, and also Jalen Coker.
Love it, Liam.
And maybe Xavier Leggett.
Of course. I appreciate the call, and sounds like we might have a future coach on our hands. There's a little bit of pregame speech there from Liam. Robert Hunt possibly returning is both literal and figuratively massive. And whether it gives you more confidence to throw the ball, maybe have some longer drops and stay in the pocket a bit longer, or if it just gives you another road grader to get the running game going, which has been an issue as of late. Robert Hunt, at times their best offensive player, any position, is potentially returning up there on the offensive line. Very, very important. So good point made by Liam. Let's get to Andrew in Raleigh up next. Andrew identifies in the notes here as an Eagles fan, but wants to sound off on the Panthers. So let's get an Eagles fan's opinion on the Carolina Panthers. Andrew, take it away.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I've been an Eagles fan as long as I can remember. We've always had to deal with bandwagoners, but I've been living in Raleigh now for almost 5 years, and I got to say, even when y'all were down in the dirt, your fans are so loyal and stay so true. So I really am proud. I got to give y'all the flowers by living here now. Y'all stuck with them, and, man, I don't care how y'all got in. Y'all got in, and I really hope that 10 plus 10.5 on the Rams, baby. Let's go.
I appreciate it. We'll pass that along, or actually you just did, all the Carolina Panthers fans listening. Can I just make one PSA here that I think is the right way to handle it? Do not be a gatekeeping fan right now. If somebody is excited because the Panthers are in the postseason and they want to buy a hat and they want to get together on a Saturday to watch the game, let them. More fans are better for your team. Don't start quizzing them on, oh, really? Oh, you're going to be a Panther fan now? Oh, who was the third leading wide receiver in 2022? Who was it? Don't do that. Don't do that. I see Dennis's head tilting to the side. Is that a Terrace Marshall year, perhaps?
It may have been Terrace Marshall. Actually, now that I think about it, I was like, oh, God.
Ian Thomas? I mean, we don't want to get too far into it. But my point is, the more the merrier. Like, if it's something you enjoy and more people want to jump in, bring them in. Show them how to do it right. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is a Monday. Sound off. Phone lines are open. And Alex in Arlington, Texas.
It was Terrace Marshall Jr., by the way.
Nailed it.
It was DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, Terrace Marshall Jr. Okay.
Nailed it. See, I'm allowed to be a fan. But I'm kidding. Even if I got that wrong, you should still welcome me into
I take that back. That's when I was going based off yards per game. That was when McCaffrey got traded. So actually, Terrace Marshall Jr. for the full season was second. Shi Smith was third.
Shi Smith would have taken me a few guesses.
I think would have taken us all show. Good Lord.
Alex in Arlington, Texas, up next. A Panther fan, or wants to sound off on the Panthers, I should say. Alex, welcome to the show. Happy to have you. Go ahead and sound off.
Hi, thank you for having me. I would just like to know is, as fans and as just even football fans, what should we expect from the Panthers, or so that we're not saying, oh, we don't be like Cowboys fans down here thinking it's all year every year, so that we can actually put ourselves in reality. What do you think we should expect from the Panthers, and what needs to be done for us to win?
All right, Alex, it's a good question. Here's how I'll respond. And this is a cop-out answer. So Alex, we appreciate you. Call back in anytime. I'm going to let you go because it's a cop-out answer, and I know it. I think the appropriate expectations for the Panthers are absolutely no expectations. This is gravy. This is icing. This is extra. This is surplus. This is bonus. I don't even know if they earned it, but they're getting it anyway. This season is already an overwhelming success for the Panthers. They played meaningful football into January, and now deeper into January. That's the whole goal this year. They're not winning the Super Bowl, right? And it was never expected to win the Super Bowl. If they put up a fight against the Rams, bonus. If they get blown out, well, hopefully they take those lessons, hard-earned, into the offseason and come back better next year. And if they beat the Rams, even more bonus football. I don't think the expectations are necessary right now. The expectations were to win 7 or 8 games and play meaningful football after the bye. Achieved. Now it's icing on the cake. Again, the number to call in here on The Drive for a Monday Sound Off is 919-860-5326. We'll mix it up here. We'll go to Bob in Selma, wants to sound off on the Carolina Hurricanes. Bob, welcome back to the show. Go ahead and sound off for us.
What's going on, man? Before I get into the Hurricane, I want to say my Raiders technically are the winners because we managed to finish the tank this year and get that number 1 pick.
Hey, there's more than one way to win, and I'll give you that.
So let me get into the Canes, man. God, it was good to see Bussi in the net last night, comfortable, confident. After the debacle against Montreal, it was good to see the defense hang in there,
even with the bad penalties in that third period, I was on it. I was like, come on, boys, no, not again, because we just been dropping those third period games. And it's like, man, we got to get it figured out, Rod. But I think they're getting it figured out. We got to watch the penalties because those are starting to kill us in the third. But really, I want to give a shout out to Freddie, man. He was having a nice game against Colorado until we decided to just whiff it in the third period, which seems to be our kryptonite, which at the beginning of the season, we played great. It's like, what happened? Where was the switch? Is it the Jarvis getting hurt that all of a sudden we can't hold third period leads anymore?
That's a fantastic question, and I think it's going to take me some time to answer it. So we'll dive in quickly. I don't think it's just Jarvis being absent. That would be letting them off the hook in a unfair and, quite frankly, kind of unaccountable way. They have enough players. They have enough talent. They have enough. I mean, they're quite literally the best in the league at puck possession, at having the ball in the offensive zone, the puck in the offensive zone, and just keeping it there. So they should be unbelievably good at holding on to 2, but especially 3-goal leads. There's been some decisions that they've made that are very questionable. So why? I think we need to talk psychology as much as we need to talk like scheme, because the same team that was good enough to build up a 2-goal lead on Colorado's very good.
Yeah, best team in the league.
Was the team that squandered the 2-goal lead against Colorado. And once you show you're that good, you shouldn't show you're not. And like it's the same team that looked very different in the same game at different points in time. So
I know, Rod, even before some of these third period collapses even have talked about they need to play better at 6-on-5. Because here's the one thing about a 6-on-5 situation where Carolina, it's 5-on-5, they play man-on-man. But then you go into a situation now where you are down a player and it's 6-on-5 as opposed to a normal penalty kill. It changes your scheme from what you've been playing the entire game, pretty much, outside of the guys that actually play on the penalty kill. So it's the mindset switch and just how you talk and how you cover. It is just different from how they play in a normal game as opposed to some teams that just run zone coverage back in their own defensive end. So it's just there is a schematic difference when you are down 6-on-5 as opposed to how they play 5-on-5.
And I do think it's something that they will get figured out. I still have a lot of people are not a lot, but I've seen some questioning of like, do they have a locker room problem? Is something going on here? No. I still have a wild amount of confidence in Kane's culture. If they're either going to figure it out or end the season trying. Like the culture is there. It's just a matter of if they do figure it out or not.
It ain't a locker room problem. Not with that group. But honestly,
with that leadership.
I'd much rather it happen, around between games 30 and 50 as opposed to, I don't know, April. Like, figure it out now.
And
it's okay.
And if you need just the simple way to make it more palatable for you, Jarvis and Slavin are out. Like,
also,
there's not many teams that you could take 2 of their however many top players, 2 of their top 3, depending on where you have a couple guys ranked, and have it just look the same. Like, that's going to have an impact.
There's 40 games still left, folks. It's fine.
How awesome is that? Back to the call-in line. Robert in Raleigh wants to sound off on the NFL and the Carolina Panthers, our local contributor to the NFL. Robert, welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
Hey, I think I answered my question. I think the answer is both, but who has the biggest hangover today, the Tampa Bay Bucs or the Baltimore Ravens? Is it better to just go 2-7 to close out the season, or is it better to lose on a game-missing field goal? You got to feel for the field goal kicker. He was 7 for 7 from 40 to 49 going into that game. I don't know if there is an answer for that, but who has the bigger hangover? And then I want to play a little something for you that the Panthers should take as their fight song for this Saturday. We've all heard the Notre Dame fight song, and we've all heard the Hail to the Redskins.
Okay.
And as you were talking about last week, the Panthers were very likely, and you were correct, to back into the playoffs. And who cares? We're in the playoffs. Here's what they should pipe through the sound system at the Panthers stadium this week. Ready? Start the truck backing up into the playoffs. Thanks for the call.
Thank you very much. I like the prop comedy. We got a radio version of Carrot Top over here. Had the backup noise.
There you go. Back that thing up.
Yeah, they backed into the playoffs. You know what is the most important part of that phrase? into the playoffs. It's not backed into. They did back into, but it's into the playoffs. That's the important part. So
I don't care if you came in through the outdoor. You're still in.
Yeah, you got inside. That you got inside the pool, and anything is possible now. CJ, who is on the road to West Virginia, as it says here, is next up on our Heister Automotive Group hotline, wants to sound off on Bryce Young. I'm happy to hear it. CJ, go ahead and take it away.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, I'm just calling. I just got back last night from Tampa. I attended the Tampa game. It was a heartbreak. It was in the rain. It was fun though. But you know, I was watching the game and I was watching the highlights, and too many times have I seen Bryce overlook seam passes, just window passes that kind of open up a little bit. Maybe not the 2.7 seconds that Dave Canales wants, but he definitely has time to look at those passes, and we're just throwing the ball away, or we're trying to fit that the interception to T-Mac. Tommy Trimble was down the seam if he just took like a 0.5 seconds just to look. And I think Bryce Young, I don't know if it's Dave Canales telling them not to look at those so he doesn't throw those interceptions, or if he's scared to throw over the middle of the field. I love Bryce Young, but at what point are we going to take those shots and you know, take those things, or are we going to maybe look at another QB just as a you know, maybe rebound QB to kind of maybe have a Jordan Love situation where you train under, you learn the offense, and then when you're ready, you come out if Bryce Young doesn't work out.
I appreciate the call. There's a lot to get to there. I'll do my best to answer it all. But going back to the previous caller, I forgot to do this. I think the Ravens have the bigger hangover than the Bucs. The Ravens, first of all, I think they're more talented than the Bucs, but also at least the Bucs won, right? The Bucs, like, hey, last week we put our best foot forward. The Ravens missed a field goal to lose it on Sunday night. Yowzers. Now going back to Bryce. As I said earlier, I'm not making any decisions about Bryce long term until I see what he does in the postseason, right? Imagine if he throws for 285, they win the game, and he drives you into the second round of the postseason, right? That's going to change everything. I do think they need to go downfield more. I do think at times after he makes a mistake, they curl up into a little ball of conservative play calling and conservative decision making. I do think they need to find ways to come up with more explosive plays, but they have the world of opportunity in front of them. They're a postseason team. Now, I will say you got to learn from a lot of teams in the past. If your team makes the postseason despite certain players, that doesn't mean you have to go ahead and give the world to those players. You don't have to go give them the gigantic contract trying to run everything back from the year before. You can still be a playoff team and get better. Look at what the Seahawks did. Geno Smith could have just thrown the world at him, given him a big contract. No. They said, actually, I think we can get better. They traded Geno Smith, got a third-round pick, turned it into Nick Emenwari, and then signed Sam Darnold for less money, and bada boom, bada bang, number one seed. That's how it all goes. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. This is Monday Sound Off, and next up on Monday Sound Off is Isaiah in Wake Forest. Also wants to sound off on the Carolina Panthers. Isaiah, welcome to the show. Please sound off.
Thanks for taking my call. Before I get started, I wanted to say briefly, I really don't. I mean, shout out to Myles Garrett, like the lone bright spot of the Browns. But if you need an extra game to get that, I still consider Michael Strahan and T.J. Watt the true sack king of the NFL. And then on the Carolina Panthers, I mean, hashtag keep pounding. We're in the playoffs, baby. Little disappointing we had to backdoor in, but whatever happens, I'll be pretty happy with the season. Also, I think we should keep Bryce Young, pick up his fifth-year option, keep him for those 2 years, and while he's on that rookie contract, look for an edge rusher, look for an off-ball linebacker. I think Jalen Coker has proven that he can be that wide receiver number 2, and I mean, I guess Xavier Legette can develop into that wide receiver 3 possibly. T-Mac, I feel like, has proven that he can be that number 1 wide receiver. So I feel like our wide receiver room, and then commit to Rico Dowdle, please. Chuba Hubbard's a great leader. Rico Dowdle has shown you that he's a good receiver or running back. He averages like 5 yards a carry, even if they give him like 8 carries, which is really annoying. That's beside the point. I think Rico Dowdle's a great player, and he's also can catch the ball, which is important in my opinion. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. There's a lot to get to there. I'm by the way, picking up the 5th-year option for Bryce is becoming more and more like the obvious decision. What I like about that is it doesn't come with a long-term consequence, right? Like 2 years, dead cap and all that. You can bring someone in for competition. You can draft somebody. That's not turning the keys for the next 5 years over to your guy like a long-term contract would be. So that's becoming more and more likely, and then you just got to continue to learn, continue to figure it out. And if it's a question for Dave Canales. If you're still not going to, in most situations, be willing to put the ball in your quarterback's hands, then you have to start looking at other options. If you will give him more leash every couple of games, then maybe you can make it work. And there's still a world of opportunity and more information to gather. Steve in Apex is up next here on a Monday Sound Off. He wants to sound off on the Carolina Panthers. Steve, welcome to the show. Happy to have you. Let's hear your take.
Yeah, how you doing, Tim? I haven't talked to you all in a minute, but great. How your New Year's and everything. Listen, Tim, I'm kind of on board with everything you said. I think there need to be a little bit more risk reward with Bryce, because it's kind of like this playoff game right here. The way I look at it is, I'm basically 100% in your corner. This is house money. I mean, I'm not expecting anything, because I don't know if Bryce Young is let's take a risk and see. Like I agree with the last call about the 5th-year option, because I don't really know what Bryce Young is now. But Dave Canales called the all-out blitz to block the punt, but he didn't send nobody back. The guys let the ball run for about 15 seconds. It's some play calling suspect stuff too. So I don't know I agree with you, Tim, on everything. I don't even need to add to that. Thank you, man.
Thank you. That's a great kind of call. Started by agreeing with me, ended with agreeing with me, and said a lot of the things I agree with in between. The play calling thing, though, I want to be clear, just because I hear it. Like sometimes, you don't wait till you say it out loud. I understand that I do call for Dave Canales to take more chances, and then he took the ultimate chance with the flea flicker, and I went, what a terrible call. There's an obvious there, right? There's like, hey, I really wish you'd work out more, and then somebody works out 8 hours a day, breaks every bone in their body by overuse, and it's like, well, that's not what I meant. Like, I want you to be unpredictable. That doesn't mean I want you calling for the flea flicker, hitch and go in the red zone in the rain, right? It just means, have a couple tendency breakers mixed in amongst your conservative play calling. That's all I'm saying. Double move to Tetero McMillan if you have the time in the pocket. That's all I'm asking for. That doesn't mean I need, the triple reverse left-handed pass from Rico Dowdle to Robert Hunt across field. Like, I don't need the crazy. I hope that was understood.
Now I want to see that.
I mean, if you have it in the playbook.
Might as well.
Just wait till you're down 2 scores, right? Wait till the risk reward is necessary. Nick in Youngsville up next wants to sound off on the Canes. Nick, welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
Hey, Tim, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Happy to hear.
Wanted to touch. Yeah. So I just wanted to touch on the Canes. I know there was a gentleman a few callers back who touched on, Canes culture, which I think is fantastic. Being someone that was born and raised in Long Island, seeing the Islanders in the early 90s, it was a little iffy. But seeing how the Canes are now, it's a really fantastic culture to be a part of and to witness on the ice. My question, I guess I kind of have 2. If Freddie has been or continues to be as inconsistent as he's been, when is the time that Brendan Moore or Tulski starts thinking, okay, maybe we need to make a change? So I guess that's part 1. And part 2 is there was one guy that I saw during the preseason that I really loved, Giovanni Smith. Thought the guy played fantastic, but we have yet to see him. Do we know if there's an injury, or do we think that calling him up may be of service at this time due to some of the inconsistencies and questionable calls so far?
All right, appreciate it. I'll try to answer all those. The Freddie change conversation. This is where I think your team philosophy comes in, and I'll get to this quickly. I don't think the Canes make trades for needs. I think they make them when they see value. I think they will not force a trade for a goalie just because Freddie's not having the month that they want him to have. So it's almost like if they make the big move for the goalie, it might feel independent of what Freddie's doing, because that, like, if they see value in a trade, if they feel like they're giving up less and getting back significantly more, they'll make that trade. That's the vibe I get from their front office under Eric Tolsky. And then what was the other question? I was deep in my Freddie
Giovanni
Anderson.
Smith.
Oh, right. I don't want to be disrespectful to Giovanni Smith. I think he is a physical presence. I think he's tough. He understands his role. You need to be able to do a lot more to stick in the NHL. I'm not saying he can't be called up in a pinch, but I think they have the guys playing up when needing to play up that they want to, right? Guys like Bradley Nadeau and everything just bring a different level of skill. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Last caller here for a Monday Soundoff. Pat in Durham wants to sound off on the Panthers and NC State, and we want to hear it. Pat, take it away.
Hey, thanks for the call. I hope you had a great New Year's and everything. First off, props to the Panthers for making the playoffs. Props to Miami for holding up the ACC's reputation in football. Mm-hmm. And I can't wait for this weekend, one of the greatest weekends around with all the football. First off, my question is, what do you think of the Eagles? And do you agree with them kind of tanking on Sunday? Being a Washington fan, I was kind of hoping for a better draft pick and a loss. And secondly, what do you think of NC State? And they went 1-1 off the bat. And what do you think of their performance? I'll listen to your wisdom.
Thank you very much. Wisdom. I appreciate that. As far as the Eagles, quote-unquote, tanking, I'm not somebody that is like blanket statement about Week 18. Do you play your starters? Do you not? If everything's tied up, if seeding's on the line, I'm not somebody's blanket statement. I think, humans are individual. I think they go through emotions and they're different, and a coach has to know his locker room. Right? Sean McVay the last 2 years rested his starters. This time he played them pretty hard to make sure they got the 5 seed rather than the 6 seed. The Chargers rested everybody. I think that's because they kind of wanted New England, and they knew that if they lost that game, they would end up playing the Patriots. But you have to know, if your team needs to play, you play them. If your team doesn't need to play, and you think they'd be more ready for the postseason with a week off, they need to get healthy, you do that. I think coaches have to make those decisions, and it's hard for us to say from the outside. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it there. When it comes to NC State basketball, Will Wade he's box office, man. But it's high risk, I think. Right? With those rants he's going on and losing games and then hitting them again and then defending his guys, like kind of along the same lines. Like, players are people, right? And emotions get involved, and how you feel about your coach and how you feel about how you're treated and how he talks about you. There's a lot going on there, and we'll see how it plays out for him. I still think there's an opportunity for NC State to turn it around and win a bunch of games and make the NCAA tournament, but they got to turn it around and win a bunch of games to make the NCAA tournament. It's still got to happen there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is a Monday Soundoff. As we said earlier, if you didn't get through on Monday Soundoff and you still have some thoughts you want to get off your chest, we are, for the first time, at least for the first time since I took over the show, accepting voice notes. So Dennis, can you tell everybody the nuts and bolts on how to do that?
So make sure you download the 99.9 The Fan app. If you haven't done so already, download it. You can listen to it. It's free. You can listen to us, take us with you wherever we go. Podcasts, videos, all kinds of stuff are on there. So make sure you download that, and you're a registered user. You can actually leave us voice memos and voice notes. Might even play a few of those on the air. So give us your hot takes, all that kind of stuff. Especially if you're going to call in during Monday Soundoff, whatever it might be, you can still chime in at any point.
There you go. I'm excited. I want to hear what that is. If you don't mind, people that are getting ready to leave voice notes or thinking about it, bring the juice.
Yeah, I can edit stuff.
You know what I mean? Bring the juice. Bring some intensity. This is the theater of the mind. We want, you can bring that kind of juice.
That's what I'm talking about.
Energy is what I'm looking for. And I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you. So that's, again, on the app, and Dennis gave you all the details. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical. They do it all. It's also, right, I keep describing these two times you're going to need their number. One time, absolute emergency, chaos ensued, right? Why is there water coming from my ceiling? I didn't flush any toilets, right? Why am I hearing water in the walls? Why is my electricity not working and my fridge is full of a quarter of a cow and it's all going to go bad, right? There's the emergencies. Then there's also the maintenance, right? Heating, cooling systems. You want to make sure they're running at optimal efficiency all of the time, putting as little stress as possible on the machinery, on the system, so it'll last as long as possible, and so it'll be as dependable as possible. And that goes for all 4 categories: heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, whatever it is, whatever lane you're in. Remember this phone number so you don't have to look it up: 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit online, MaynorServices.com, MAYNOR Services.com. We touched on it a little bit during the Canes conversations we've had, but it is deserving of a full breakdown. Brandon Bussi, the man in net for the Canes. Stick around.
Evan Canty and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Something seems amiss between the relationship of Harbs and Lamar Jackson. I understand that nobody wants to blame either one of them for the lack of success they've been able to achieve since 2018, but at some point, something has to change in order to get a different result, and I think that the head coach is by far the easier to make a move.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Pondering prizes with Cash Pop? Why pick just one pop when you can pick as many pops as you please? Up to 15. Picture this. You pick your pop, perhaps a powerful 7. Now pick more pops like a proud 9, a pristine 15, a perfect 10. Each pop propagates more potential to pack your pockets with prizes up to $2,500. So prepare for a peppering of prizes with Cash Pop from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Cash Pop. Play more pops, win more prizes. Must be 18 to play. See Cash Pop prize and odds charts at nclottery.com. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Whether you're in school, whether it's in life, you just gotta give it everything you got, and I'm glad I was able to represent that.
The Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month from 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union. To nominate your athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326.
Hughes with it, shot, Bussi makes the save, rebounds out, Bussi with another save, and he'll cover it up. 3 chances there for the Devils, and Brandon Bussi closes the door.
Timely stuff from Bussi. He's getting help and compete in front of him.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Brandon Bussi. Brandon Bussi. I believe Brandon Bussi crossed over a threshold yesterday. Broke through a barrier, passed a checkpoint, however you want to describe it. And here's what he did. He went from a cool story to the goalie for the Carolina Hurricanes. And that is a big jump. And here's what he did. He bounced back. It's crazy that it took us this long to find out how he bounces back, but that's a credit to him, right? Brandon Bussi made me be like, it was a bit Ring of Honor complexy for those of you that know the theories that I name. He made me be like a wet blanket on the hype around him because he didn't have a bad game for so long. He's now 14-2-1. And as he was going on that streak, winning 9 of his first 10 starts, 10 of his first 11 starts, winning shootouts, doing so much, with every game, the Brandon Bussi hype just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And people started talking about the bus stops, and people started talking about the wheels on the bus, and people got excited, and people, now we can trade away a goalie, and Pyotr Kochetkov had surgery. That's okay. We got Bussi. And all of this hype just kept getting bigger. And I had to keep saying, I'm not buying in 100%. I'm excited. I'm happy he's winning. I'm not buying in 100% until I see him have a bad game and quickly pop out on the other side playing well. Because we haven't seen him. We don't know if he can do that. We didn't know. And with every win, with every good performance, it felt more and more like I was throwing the brakes on like a party. Like I was trying to kick everybody out at 10 o'clock. The good music just started playing. And the reason why is because he made it so far before having a stinker. And then, ironically, Thursday, January 1, first game of 2026. My folks are in town. I bring the parents to the game. We're all getting ready to watch a Carolina Hurricanes game. You prep them, right? All right, the way the Canes play might not be the most goals in the world, right? If they play their game, this could be like a 3-1 win. So try to appreciate the pitcher's duel element of it. Well, let's just say that didn't happen.
3-2 after the first.
It was 2-0. It was 4-2. It ended up being 7-5. A loss. Bussi was in net, and for the first time, maybe not the very first time, but for what felt like the first time, there were a couple goals where it's like, yeah, goalie just can't allow that. Right? It wasn't a defensive player, one of the blue liners in front of him that got out of position. It wasn't just an unbelievable snipe show from the opponent. It was like, that's just a soft goal. That's a bad one on Bussi. And he gave up 7, which even if they're all like a quote-unquote acceptable goals, 7 is a tough one for a goalie to see. That's just a funny number for a goalie to see next to his name coming out of a game. And one of them was an empty netter, so, not all, but you know what I'm saying. And then, do you know what's the crazy part? Right, I told you my folks were in town. I'm driving home, talking with the family, and the next morning we're talking with the family. I was kind of excited because I'm like, we're finally going to get to learn about Brandon Bussi's makeup. We're finally going to get to see if this is sustainable or not. We finally get to see how he reacts to like true game-long adversity, not one goal or not, a rough couple of minutes, like a bad game. We finally get to see. And he wasn't in net against Colorado. That was a Freddie Anderson game. We've talked about it. But on the road against New Jersey, second half of a back-to-back, travel in between, maybe some tired legs in front of him. 3-1 and a lot of really good saves. And Rod Brindamore, after the game, said this about his goaltender.
He's been great, and he had the other night was not great. I mean, to be blunt, he let in a bunch of not good ones, and then this, okay, how are you going to respond? And obviously he did. So that says a lot about him, and it's been a big part of this year so far.
He's been a big part of this year so far, and now for the first time, I can say it with my chest, I'm confident he will be a big part of the rest of the year too. And I'm confident he can deal with it. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. I'm not saying he won't go through slumps. I'm not saying he won't let in soft goals. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying part of being a goalie is dealing with all of that I just said. And I am now significantly more confident that he can do so and get it locked back in quickly. Right? He can be the pitcher that gives up back-to-back jacks in the second inning and then still exits after 8 1/3 and only gave up one more run. Like he can lock back in. He can pitch better the next game. And again, credit to him that it took us this long to figure it out because he played really well to start his career for a long time. But it's a vital piece of information to know about your guys. And quite frankly, I think it's the hardest part in sports to evaluate. Right? Professional athletes, break some news here, they're usually pretty darn good at the levels before the professional ranks. To make it to the NHL, even to make it to the AHL, you have to be an unbelievably good athlete, which means you don't have a lot of experience with bad games. You have less than the rest of us, right? The run-of-the-mill athletes, we get really good at bouncing back from bad games because we have them, right? The truly elite, they don't face a ton of players better than them. So Brandon Bussi gets to the league, runs off like 15 straight pretty solid performances, I'm going, I don't know what this guy's makeup is. Now, I'm more confident in it. Congratulations to Brandon Bussi. Job well done. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We do have the starting five coming up next, and it is action-packed as always. But before we get to any of that, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
Dennis Cox here real quick for Loan Pronto. The best financial move you can make here at the start of the year. How about lowering your mortgage rate to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it all now by giving Loan Pronto a call. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash. You can pay off all those high-interest credit cards and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. Don't wait, folks. There's no hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out all that higher interest debt and lowering your bills by thousands of dollars. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Starting five coming up next here on a Monday. Don't go anywhere.
Listen for college football's best through January 19th. From the Military Bowl to the Natty in Miami, every major bowl game will be brought to you live.
Carnero for the lead from 47 yards. He got it. Ole Miss leads Georgia 37-34 with 6 seconds remaining.
Bowl season on 99.9 The Fan and Buzz Sports is presented by Wake Men, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford.
At Smith Douglas Homes, we're proud to support our hometown heroes, teachers, healthcare workers, firefighters, and military. As a thank you, receive a $2,500 credit towards your new home purchase. Explore SmithDouglas.com. Smith Douglas, where it's your home, your choice, within reach.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What? You expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Dine in, drive through, or tap your favorite delivery app and have Bojangles come to you. Satisfy your craving for flavor right now with Bojangles 2-piece dinner. 2 pieces of Bojangles dark meat chicken, your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and iced tea for just $6.99. That's right, just $6.99 for limited time at participating Bojangles. What are you waiting for? When you're hungry, it's always bow time.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. There could be some patchy fog overnight. Otherwise, it's mostly cloudy with lows in the lower 40s. Get ready for a warm-up this week. We're back in the mid-60s Tuesday with mostly cloudy skies. By Wednesday, highs should reach the low 70s thanks to more sunshine.
Weather update brought to you by Blue Shark Vodka, the world's smoothest vodka. Pour Blue Shark Vodka at all of your events to lift everyone's spirits. Blue Shark Vodka, the shark that doesn't bite. 5 o'clock check of your money. The Dow Jones at the closing bell today, finishing up 594 points to 48,977.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting five, and as always with the starting five, we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let's start with Saturday. Panthers, Carolina Panthers, lost to the Buccaneers, 16-14. Rain-soaked, high stakes, really, truly crazy game. And, the Carolina Panthers have kind of moved in the shadows the last few years, nationally, right? Oh, the Panthers, they're no good. They're mathematically eliminated. Oh, look at that. They upset someone. Like, that's just kind of how they were treated. Teams are not familiar with the Carolina Panthers. Other fans, other media, not familiar with the Carolina Panthers because, like, Teteroa McMillan right now, everyone's like, wow, look at that, offensive rookie of the year. Oh, they got one down there in Carolina. And I'm going, this was not even near his best game. Like, they actually, the play that I liked most from Teteroa McMillan was called back on a penalty. That shouldn't have been. He is a physical beast, meaning size, speed, length, wingspan. And he could have had a bigger play if Bryce Young led him a bit further on the one that ended up setting up the Jalen Coker touchdown. There's two ways to look at the Panthers-Bucs game. And it probably says more about whoever's doing the looking than it does about them. Are you a glass half full or are you a glass half empty person? I think there was some good to take away from that game that you can try to build off of going into the postseason. I think there was some bad that makes you very scared going into the postseason. 12 carries, 20 rushing yards for your running backs. Ugh. The running game is the most important part of outkicking your coverage, of beating a team that's out of your league. Now, I know you just beat the Rams, so, out of your league seems aggressive, but you're a 10-point dog, and the Rams didn't play their best, and, Matt Stafford doesn't turn the ball over that often. I want to keep Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams off the field as long as I possibly can this week.
Oh, yeah.
And a running game is a necessity for that. That's going to scare you a little bit. However, in a moment of need, McMillan and Coker stepped up. Regardless of how this game goes against the Rams, I think you have two young wide receivers that you can build around. Mm-hmm. That's wildly positive. Unbelievably positive. For the second straight week, I think the defense played well enough to win a game that would have guaranteed you a postseason spot.
Yeah.
And defense is pretty important.
Last I checked. By the way, look at the last 2 weeks offensively for the Carolina Panthers. I posted this over the weekend. The last 2 weeks combined.
Let's hear it.
24 points scored. That's it. The last 2 weeks combined. 24 points scored. Just 2 of 19 on third downs. 91 yards on 28 carries between Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. That's a 3.25 yards per carry. 5 turnovers. Granted, one of those turnovers came on that very kind of lateral-ish type play at the very end of the game. So if you want to say 4, fine, I'll give you 4. Time of possession, averaging just 24 minutes and 8 seconds time of possession. And just 424 total yards between the two games. That's not an average. That's total between the two. And also averaging just 50.5 plays per game. That ain't going to cut it this Saturday. It's just not.
Here's, again, it's how you look at it. I think that's a lot of fixable.
Oh, very much so.
You're right. Like, there is, what's the saying? Do you have a problem? Yeah, I do. I got a problem, Tim. Do you know how to fix it? Yeah, I do. You don't got a problem. You got a task, or you got a chore. Go fix it. This is, for 2 straight weeks, the offense has underperformed in a way that I'm looking at and going, well, they're not being out-talented, right? It's not like, sometimes you see it in college football especially, where it's like, oh, they just don't have a chance here, right? The offensive line is getting run over every play because the defense is bigger, faster, stronger, and there's, some things just don't add up. If the Panthers play their A game, if they get the best version of the guys they have on this roster this year, like, it's not 2 times better than what we've seen the last 2 weeks. It's 50 times better than what we've seen the last 2 weeks. but you got to do it, right? That's the hard part. You got to find a way to draw that out of your team. So, the bad news is you aren't playing great offensively. The good news is there's a lot of room for improvement if you can put it together by Saturday afternoon at home, by the way. Secondly, real quick here, Dennis, I have an idea to get the crowd into a fervor. You know how they do the
drum?
The drum?
Yeah. The keep pounding drum.
It's got to be Cam, right?
Oh, yeah. Chris Lee and I did live Panthers playbook yesterday, and we actually had a listener suggest that. We're like, oh, my God, absolutely. If you have Cam doing the keep pounding drum, the place is going to be lit.
It's got to be Cam.
Yes, absolutely.
And let Cam wear whatever hat he wants.
Oh, yeah.
Have him all the suede. Let him Cam the heck out of it.
Let him have this cigar out there in the field. I don't care.
Yes. Let him do the Superman thing. Let him dab. Bring it all back. It's like whatever time they normally put on the clock for the keep pounding, 45 seconds, 4.5 minutes. Let Cam spread his legs a little bit with it because he'll get the crowd into a fervor. Let him stretch out. Give him the exit row. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Yeah, the appropriate sound there. So with the starting 5, you all know, right? We say a number, then there's a highlight that kind of is the Easter egg for the topic we're going to talk about. It's rare that it catches me off guard. Normally, it's like we're going to talk about the Panthers, and it's Bryce Young touchdown to Teteroa McMillan. We're going to talk college basketball here, and he just played the dunk. So, yeah. And that's kind of what the weekend was for college basketball in the Triangle. NC State got smoked by Virginia, 76-61. UNC got smoked by SMU, 97-83. And then Duke squeaked by a Florida State team who, to this point, and especially in their non-conference schedule, has not been very good, 91-87. So it is a weekend of for the Triangle. But in the interest of what we were just talking about, right, we get to decide whether we're going to be optimistic or pessimistic about things. The optimistic spin is the ACC has teams that can beat, because I still think, especially UNC and Duke, are exceptional teams. And I think NC State has the bones of a very good team. They just haven't put it all together yet. But there are teams out there that if you don't play your A game, they'll smoke you in the ACC. And in years past, meaning the last 2 or 3, you could play like a C-plus game, and as long as you weren't playing one of 3 good teams that year, you might get away with it. Like UNC against, Syracuse of 2 years ago, they probably win that game by 11, and we don't even come in today bummed about how they played. We come in today going hey, another double-digit win for UNC. I'm talking about this year's UNC team. But they play SMU, and they don't get great performances that we've become accustomed to from Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar. Good, but not great. And suddenly they're a little vulnerable. SMU has a little bit of size down low to battle with them. They got some guards. Boopy Miller is playing great. Many of you might remember him from his time at Wake Forest. This whole season has really been putting together a pretty solid deal. They lose by 14 points. And thus, that leads to some things we were talking about earlier. 5 teams ranked in the first AP poll. So 5 teams in the top 25 from the ACC, 4 more also receiving votes. Dennis added that there are 8 teams, the top 40 in the net rankings?
Top 37 if you want to get real specific.
Darn right. 8 teams in the top 37. What's that, darn near a fourth of the top 37?
Almost.
On-air math. Take that. My point is, the ACC has teams that losses are the committee will look at and say, that's not a bad loss. That's very, very important. Granted, you'd like them to be really good wins rather than not bad losses, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. The ACC is better this year. That's number 4. Let's jump to number 3.
Movement on that offensive line this week because of the injuries. If there's some growing pains going on, Lopez is going to take a shot to the end zone, lofts one to the corner, and the ball is caught. Is he in the end zone? Yes, touchdown, Jeremiah Webb.
on the first edition of As the Transfer Portal Turns of our new season. The transfer portal opened on Friday. Fireworks. And we're talking college football, obviously. Fireworks. There's 4,500 plus names. 4,500 as of like 24 hours ago. There were 4,500 names in the transfer portal. A little over 30% of all college football players with eligibility remaining. It's ridiculous. It's chaos. I don't know how coaches deal with it. You need a full staff just to evaluate the transfer portal. You weren't here, Dennis, but last week I made a New Year's resolution. I refuse to judge a transfer portal situation on raw totals for a team. I'm not going to come in and say, this team lost 35 players. What a terrible season. Because, quite frankly, I think a lot of guys are being nudged into the portal. And I don't think that saving everyone from the previous year is always the best way to go because there's talent in the portal. I think it's different. So I'm doing my best when we talk portal to not just go, NC State football, 21 into the portal, they took 14 out and have a big recruiting class. Those aren't real numbers, but I'm saying I'm doing my best not to do that. Instead, I think the value is in picking the difference makers, right? If you lose a guy, was he getting backup minutes? Did he start 6 games due to injury? Did he make an impact when he was on there? Or is this just like shuffling the backups? Or on the flip side, is this a really important player that you lost and it hurts? So there are a couple ins and outs in the triangle to talk about that I think are more of the difference maker variety. And I'm talking about just ones that are kind of surprises as of late. If you made it very known, Hollywood Smothers didn't play in the bowl game because he was going in the portal. I'm not going to be like, whoa, he's in the portal. Jacarius Peak, left tackle for NC State, into the portal. You don't have to know his name, but as long as you watched the Blind Side movie or read the book, left tackle, very important. He's also one of the good ones. He's going to be highly sought after in the portal and potentially a relatively high draft pick in the future if he plays well at his next location. He has the physical ability and he's pretty darn good. He hit the portal for NC State, which now makes him there's a lot of guys leaving that are difference makers. Smothers, as I mentioned, Noah Rogers, Terrell Anderson, young wide receiver. Now Jacarius Peak. They did manage to get the recommit, the solidify from C.J. Bailey, their quarterback. So, the big fish stayed home. Well, that's a lot of fish, the keepers, if you will, that are hitting the portal. So they're going to have to use C.J. Bailey as the magnetic force to bring in difference makers to offset their losses out of the transfer portal. And then UNC, in addition to a few other, premium positions joining them, they did a little switcheroo at the quarterback position. Billy Edwards Jr. in from Wisconsin out of the transfer portal. Quarterback that did play a bit very early on for Wisconsin, got hurt, kind of lost his job from there. He is committed to UNC out of the transfer portal. Gio Lopez into the transfer portal to leave. He was their quarterback this past year. I'm not going to act like Billy Edwards was the top guy in the portal, but I'm also not going to act like he can't be a huge improvement. I think the position and the offense in general held back UNC this year. So, I think changes were necessary. They're changing the coordinator, bringing in Mr. Arkansas / Louisville himself / Atlanta Falcons / 7 other places, Bobby Petrino, and bringing in his guy. I guess that guy is Billy Edwards Jr. I am curious about how NIL works for somebody like Gio Lopez. The reports were he signed a 2-year deal for $2 million per. I guarantee you, after what he put on the field this year, nobody's giving him $2 million in the portal. Is he passing up 7 figures to go get another opportunity to play?
Yeah, we don't know what those things look like, though.
Or is there a negotiation of a buyout? Hey, man, we'll give you $800,000 to leave. I don't know. I'm wondering. I'm questioning out loud.
Who the heck knows? It's a mess.
We need an insider. We need an undercover cop. Let's go full.
We need a PI, private investigator.
Let's go full 21 Jump Street.
All right.
I'm going to go play high school football this year.
Okay.
And try to get recruited just to know what the inside of the world is like.
With your knees? All right.
I'll be on the IR the entire time, which is great. They won't know that I'm not good enough to be out there. They'll think I'm just on the IR. I think I might still have eligibility, by the way. My freshman year, they used
high school.
They used college. I used a full year for 12 plays, which is now not allowed. So maybe I think I got a redshirt year.
There you go.
Somewhere. That's number 3, right? Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us. Hall trying to take it away from Allen. Does out in front. They score! Logan Stankoven on another play from Taylor Hall, taking it away from Jake Allen. And Stankoven had gone 11 games without a goal. Take that off the board. And the Canes go up 3-1 in New Jersey.
The Carolina Hurricanes beat New Jersey yesterday on the road. Beat the Devils. With the, by the way, I should say, the help of Luke Hughes. Scored a couple of goals for the Canes, if you know what I mean. A couple of own goals there. But Taylor Hall looked spry, and they got the win 3-1. Brandon Bussi was in net. For the full breakdown of what went on in the Garden State. That's right, Garden State, New Jersey. Here is our very own Adam Gold with 2 minutes of gold.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I've got 2 minutes for 2 players who helped Carolina not blow a 2-goal lead and get 2 points in the process. Yes! Glory! Parkway Sleep Health Centers brings us this. ParkwaySleep.com. All right, let's start with a little muscle memory. That's right. It was only 8 years ago that Taylor Hall was the MVP, the Hart Trophy winner of the National Hockey League, and he went into the Wayback Machine last night.
Stahl, he'll be able to chip one on the backhand in and pressuring all the way and scoring! What a goal, Taylor Hall! On the forecheck, he created something out of nothing, and that something is a 2-1 lead for Carolina.
Great goal. Off the stick of Luke Hughes, who, as an unrelated topic, had a rough night for the New Jersey Devils. Nearly a hat trick of own goals. And then the setup to Logan Stankoven was just a great play, stealing it from the goalie and getting it out in front to Logan, who had not scored in 11 games, so that was a big development as well. Taylor Hall, muscle memory night. But the story we were all wondering about, would Brandon Bussi bounce back from the very difficult game against Montreal on New Year's night? Well, he did.
Hughes with it, shot, Bussi makes the save, rebounds out, Bussi with another save, and he'll cover it up. 3 chances there for the Devils, and Brandon Bussi closes the door.
28 saves, solid from start to finish, everything you were hoping for, because it does appear that Carolina has a goalie who will last for this season. Brandon Bussi answered the bell in a difficult spot against a very good team that needed a win, and Carolina was able to protect a 2-goal lead for the first time in a minute. It has been a struggle with that, but Carolina did it. They win it 3-1. They get 2 points, extend their lead in the Metro, and now we can all rest easy. Parkway Sleep, who better to help us rest easy? Sound sleep, sound health, Soundoff for muscle memory and a goalie of the near future.
Appreciate Adam Gold for 2 minutes of gold there. I do want a second. It was good to see Taylor Hall. I mean, it felt like he had twice as much energy and kind of zip as he normally does. And I'm sure he did want to show out for the New Jersey Devils fans, which he obviously has a history with. And I can report back, right? I did spend part of my childhood in New Jersey, so I still have a good amount of friends there, big Devils fans. I can report back. I went into the dark parts of group chats talking with Devils fans during the game. They are still rooting for Taylor Hall. They even with Luke Hughes kind of shooting himself in the foot a little bit, they're like, well, at least the second one went to Taylor Hall. I'm always going to be a fan of that guy. At least the Devils fans that I interact with. So it was good to see Taylor Hall have a turn back the clock game, and hopefully he has a few of those in the postseason. Because, I know he's not skating top line minutes, but he can steal you one if he has that turn back the clock moment. That is number 2. How about number 1?
The 1!
Thank you, Atlanta Falcons.
Let's go.
Thank you, Atlanta Falcons. Thank you, Raheem Morris. Thank you, Bijan. Thank you, Drake London. Thank you, Kirky Worky Cousins, for helping the Carolina Panthers make the postseason. The Panthers didn't punch their own ticket on Saturday, so it became one of the weirdest, most NFC South things possible. You had Panther fans and Bucs fans watching the Falcons play the Saints, with Panther fans rooting for the Falcons and Bucs fans rooting for the Saints, and that game would decide which of the inactive teams would win the division and go to the postseason. You can't script an NFC South thing better. I mean, whatever coastal chaos used to be in the ACC, NFC South chaos looks at that and laughs.
You think the NFC South looked at the ACC and went, we can top that?
Yeah. What, you got 5 teams tied for second?
Yeah.
How about 75% of the division tied for first?
Let's go.
How you like me now? And the Saints might be playing the best football of any of them over the last month.
That's true. You know what the wild thing is? The Falcons have been eliminated from playoff contention since December 7th.
The chain of events to get eliminated mathematically from the postseason December 7th and finish tied for the best record in your division? How? I don't even understand it, but I will accept it. I will enjoy it, and I will watch the Carolina Panthers go into the postseason. And I think this is one of those moments that can accelerate a build, okay? Because over the last 3 seasons, the Carolina Panthers have had, I think that what you can say is the most sustainable type of rebuild, whatever you want to call it. 2-3 more wins each year, right? Just nickel and diming your way down the field, matriculating the ball down the field towards contenderdom, right? You get the quarterback, maybe it doesn't work out that well. You get the coach, all right, maybe it's a little bit better. You get the offensive line, all right, now we're cooking. You get and eventually you're, 8 wins. Now a postseason game, whether you deserved it or not, right? Whether you're one of the 7 best teams in the NFC or not, whether you're one of the 14 best teams in the league or not, a postseason game, I think, can accelerate it. You can take a leap. I'm not saying you're going to go from 8 wins to 14 next year and taking a bye into the first round. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if your pace thus far had been like, let's get 15% better each year, 15% better each year, a postseason game can be like a little multiplier, right? Maybe 30% better. Because you learn more about your team. You learn more about the makeup of your individual players. You kind of get to test yourself against the best with the brightest lights. So the Panthers back their way into the postseason. They lose their final 2 games. If they win either of them, they wouldn't have had to wait for that Falcons-Saints game. But they lose them both. Back their way into the postseason. They draw the Rams, which is a fascinating matchup, by the way, based on the fact that the Panthers beat the Rams not long ago. And not to mention J.C. Horn didn't play in that game, right? Some very good players. Robert Hunt, who might be back this week, didn't play in that game.
Trayvon Merrick didn't play in that game. He was suspended.
And Trayvon Merrick, who, by the way, Trayvon Merrick I don't even know if it's shocking to some of you. I think he might be their best chance at a pass rush. He's a safety, which probably says something about your edge rushers. But Evero has been dialing up more creative blitzes to get guys like Merrick involved in the pass rush. And if he gets home a few times, or if he gets a couple of pressures, even if he's not getting home, that can change the game when you have a 37-year-old kind of sitting duck like Matt Stafford.
I remember against the Seahawks, there was a couple times where he took either DJ Wanham or Nick Scorton off the field, and he basically lined up Merrick as the edge rusher on the play. I was like, well, wait a second. He's just the de facto edge rusher on this play, the way he crept up to the line of scrimmage. That's all it was. I was like, oh, okay, interesting.
You'll appreciate this. Actually, I'll ask you this since you're the resident Steelers fan. I think they're going to be watching a lot of Polamalu film this offseason. Not because Merrick is as good as Polamalu. I'm not that crazy. But because they can use him in similar ways where at the end of the year you look and he's like, all right, he's got 50% of his snaps at safety. He's got 15% at nickel corner. He's got 15% at linebacker. And is that 5% at like defensive tackle? Like you can move him around a ton because he is such a physical player who's not afraid of contact from anybody. But if it's like a true speed rush situation, you could get him off the edge. I'm just saying. I like Merrick a lot.
It depends on who the defensive coordinator is. That's a different conversation for another time.
Well, yes. Evero's contract's up. But
yeah, exactly.
The defense playing well, though. I'm again, a conversation for another day. I'm just saying Merrick brings a physicality that not many players from the second level bring. Postseason is good. I want that to be if you only take away one thing from today's show, I don't care how you get there. I don't care what happens. Actually, I care what happens. But regardless of what happens in the game, being in the postseason is good. It's good for your franchise. It's good for learning. It's good for evaluation. It's good. Enjoy it. And it doesn't happen often for certain programs, as Panther fans know. You never know when the next one's going to be. Enjoy it, especially at home. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the starting five. It's been a while since we've had the numbers game. I'm looking forward to it. The prize for today, a $25 AutoBell gift card. If you want to win the gift card and the glory that comes with winning the numbers game, call in now. We need 2 contestants. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326 for your chance to compete and maybe win yourself an AutoBell gift card. Numbers game coming up next.
Move your sports day forward.
I've heard all the tired complaints about the transfer portal, which is wide open. It's like the NFL, right? So much free agency, everyone's moving. But trust me, college is a finite experience. If you had a shred of talent and can make the kind of money that they're making in just 4 or maybe 5 years, you do the same thing. Just keep moving.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
If you're exhausted, not just tired, but worn down, this message is for you. I'm Brandon Giggling, president of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Across North Carolina, many people wait months, sometimes over a year, just to start sleep care. That wait isn't normal, and it isn't necessary. At Parkway, most patients are seen within weeks, with virtual consultations and home sleep studies that remove unnecessary delays. Sleep care shouldn't have to depend on how long you're willing to wait.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. I travel coast to coast covering hockey. But when I'm back home, I head to my home away from home, Buffalo Brothers, for the best wings on the planet. You can't beat their specials at all 5 of their Triangle locations. Every pro football game day, you can get Miller Lite Draft for $4.50 and Blue Moon Draft for $5.50. Pet-friendly patio too. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man. Now I want wings.
At First Carolina Bank, we pride ourselves on building relationships and doing the day-to-day things in banking extremely well. Experience the First Carolina way for yourself or your business today. Visit firstcarolinabank.com. First Carolina Bank. Member FDIC.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. You know what time it is. It's time to play the numbers game. And as always, we have our 2 contestants, Evan in Fuquay and David in Willow Springs, ready to battle it out in numbers game logic. That's jersey number trivia for our prize. The prize for today, a $25 AutoBell car wash gift card. Right, get your car clean for the new year if you're able to win. The contestants, as I said, Evan and David, will bring each of them onto the show, ask them the same question. Dennis will be the judge. He'll listen in, pick his favorite answer, and that person will get to go first. We'll start with Evan. Evan, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. The question, as it often is on Monday, We just finished. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this a little differently. I believe this is our first numbers game of the new year. So looking back on 2025, what was your sports highlight of 2025? What is your favorite memory of all of the sports events that took place in 2025?
Ooh. I'm an Ohio State fan, so I'll have to go all the way back to last January.
Yeah, you're not going all the way back to a couple days ago. Shout out ACC. Let's go. But you're going back to the Will Howard National Championship is what you're describing?
Yeah, so it seems like 5 years ago, but yeah, 2025.
College football is definitely dog years right now. It takes forever. All right, anyway, Evan goes with the Ohio State National Championship. We'll go to David in Willow Spring. David, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Same question to you. This is our first numbers game of the new year. So looking back at all of 2025, what was your sports highlight, your number one top of the list highlight of 2025?
Well, I'm a Seahawks fan, and since we had to wait till last week to clinch the division, just anything going up to that, because I don't really think that they were even considered, even making the playoffs this year. So,
all right, locked in
I'm going with that.
The rise of the Seahawks under Mike McDonald and Sam Darnold. Dennis, what are you rolling with, the Ohio State Natty or the Seahawks rise?
I'm not going to lie, not the best choices, I would say.
Not,
again,
not
these are all very,
local,
very personal.
But their fandoms
They're
are
all
their
very,
fandoms.
very personal. So, again, I will respect that. The national championship game, I don't remember who they beat. They beat
Notre Dame.
They beat Notre Dame.
Riley
yes,
Leonard.
I will take beating Notre Dame in a national championship game. Give me the Buckeyes. I'll take Evan.
Riley Leonard, though, had a good game this week. Showed some sparks.
Shout out to Riley Leonard.
Former Duke quarterback.
That's right. But he played for Notre Dame last.
I saw somebody, I forget who it was on Twitter, showed Riley Leonard and said, never forget who believed in him first. And it was a picture of him in the Notre Dame locker room. I'm like, no, they were at best second. They were at best second.
Show a picture of David Cutcliffe.
Yeah, for real. Show a picture of like Toledo basketball or wherever he was going to go before finally getting some football scholarships. Either way, that means Evan and Fuquay gets to go first. David and Willow Springs, don't worry, you will have your chance. Just have to sit on hold for a second. Evan, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes.
All right. The categories are Panthers players throughout history, those NFL players, Panthers throughout history, NFL players, Rams throughout history, see what we did there, a couple of teams playing each other, NBA players that were born south of the equator is the third category, and NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
Let's go with the Rams.
The Rams. All right. We have NFL Rams throughout history. I will give you the team and the player. Even though we know the team in this category, I will say it just to keep it fair timing-wise with some of the other categories. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right, perfect. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Kyron Williams, Los Angeles Rams.
23.
Correct. Jared Verse, Los Angeles Rams.
8.
Correct. Tyler Higbee, Los Angeles Rams.
86.
Incorrect. Robert Woods, Los Angeles Rams.
19.
Incorrect. Tyler Higbee, Los Angeles Rams.
88.
Incorrect. Robert Woods, Los Angeles Rams.
11.
Incorrect. Tyler Higbee, Los Angeles Rams.
83.
Incorrect. Robert Woods, Los Angeles Rams.
81.
Incorrect. Tyler Higbee, Los Angeles Rams.
87.
You started close. You were actually getting kind of further away there at the end. You got Kyron with 23. You got Verse with 8. By the way, his block and return is wildly athletic. Higbee, 89 we were looking for.
Oh.
You started right there in the upper 80s and just never quite
I knew
got
the
there.
tight end.
And Robert Woods, we would have accepted 2 or 17. So you were there in the teens, but just never quite got to 17. But 2, the number to beat. We've seen worse. Stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up.
Okay, thank you.
That brings us to David in Willow Spring. David, can you hear me? David, can you hear me? Going once. David, can you hear me? I'm hearing like a static that then goes silent when I believe he starts talking. Do you have me on mute, David? Can you hear me? This is going to be a really anticlimactic way for Evan and Fuquay to win a $25 Autobell gift card.
He's connected. I don't know why. All right.
Going once. Oh, David, I heard something. Are you there?
Yeah, I've got bad reception, and I'm at work, unfortunately. It's bad here, but yeah, I'm here.
All right, we'll give it a go. But
Stay right where you are. Don't move.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the old school days with like the tinfoil on top of the TV. Nobody move. We got the game. It's clear.
Yep. I'm frozen, man.
All right, so I will give you this piece of advice. If I say it again when we're playing, just say it again. Don't say, oh, what? Like that just means there was a drop and I didn't hear you.
Okay.
I'll give you the team and the player. Oh, sorry. You got to pick a category. Do you want NFL, Panthers throughout history, NBA, born south of the equator, or NHL, Hurricanes throughout history?
Let's go with the NFL Panthers.
All right. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. As I said, if I say it again, make sure you just say it again. Don't ask questions. That's wasted time. And also, you need at least 3 for the win. Any questions before we jump in?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Trevor Etienne, Carolina Panthers.
25.
Incorrect. Adam Thielen, Carolina Panthers.
22.
Incorrect. Trevor Etienne, Carolina Panthers.
Pass.
Shaq Thompson, Carolina Panthers.
65.
Incorrect. Adam Thielen, Carolina Panthers.
28.
Incorrect. Trevor Etienne, Carolina Panthers.
30.
Incorrect. Shaq Thompson, Carolina Panthers.
26.
Incorrect. Adam Thielen. That's an O for David. We heard you the whole time. Maybe you wish we didn't. Then,
yeah.
Then you could say, I got them all right. They just couldn't hear me. David, not enough for the win, but hopefully you had some fun. All right, there you go. He's gone. Tell everybody at work we said hi. And that means Evan in Fuquay is the winner. Evan, congratulations.
Thank you.
You get the $25 Autobell Car Wash gift card. All you have to do is stay on the line and make sure Dennis gets the information he needs.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. How about that?
Are we just going to assume that David was in the bathroom?
Mm-hmm. I didn't hear a flush.
You didn't have to. Doesn't mean you needed to hear one. Just saying.
I said Adam Thielen for the Carolina Panthers, and he was like, oh, like, he acted like I told him like Shai Smith or something like that. He acted like I was Cam Jackson.
Shai Smith, third leading receiver 2022 for the Carolina Panthers. Just saying.
I said Adam Thielen. He was one of the better players on the team for multiple years.
He was here during training camp.
He acted like, oh, geez, we're not just going to give you like Cam Newton, Julius Peppers. Although we might, you never know. Got to call into play to find out. And we do it about this time every single day. So there's plenty more opportunities. And obviously, it's all in jest, right? We're just messing around with our friend, David in Willow Spring. Evan is the winner, and we'll do it again tomorrow, as I said. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, I need to tell you all about Gordon Miller and Miller Lending. And Dennis, I can tell you right now, my computer just acted really weird. So do you have that disclaimer anywhere just at the end? I can talk about it all day, but I want to make sure we say the important stuff. Gordon Miller and Miller Lending. They're here for you, right? Timing is everything when it comes to getting a mortgage, when it comes to buying a house. We'd all love to just go down, get a time machine, go back to a few years ago when rates were like 2.5, 2.25, and lock in our rates. But guess what? Maybe you didn't need to move then. Maybe you didn't have the money then. Maybe you didn't have kids then, and now you need a bigger house. Whatever it is all about life. And when life tells you need a mortgage, you need to tell yourself to call Miller Lending and ask for a no closing cost loan. That allows you the flexibility to take advantage of a volatile market. You lock in your mortgage now, set up your monthly payments. But if rates drop tomorrow, refinance. No cost, no fees, no third-party costs, none of those hidden surcharges. The money out of your pocket, you don't got to worry about it like you do with so many other lenders. And then you get the lower monthly payment. Meanwhile, if rates go up, like I said, you've already locked it in. You're good to go and ready to roll. It is Miller Lending. Gordon Miller's been doing no closing cost loans for decades. Miller Lending's been doing them since they started here decades ago, and locally owned in Cary, by the way. So, Dennis, can you hit us with the disclaimer here? And before we do that, make sure everybody knows, go check them out on MillerLending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 2502146. Look at that. I didn't even know I could speak that fast. Thank you to Dennis for getting that up quickly. Speaking of quickly, we'll be back with Panthers playoff talk, and it's a busy day elsewhere around the NFL. Everybody doesn't have a playoff game to focus on. How's that feel? Stick around.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and as the Carolina Hurricanes shoot for their 8th consecutive playoff appearance, that's right, 8 in a row, that's not the goal, I should remind you. The goal is being, as Rod Brindamore likes to say, the last team standing. What do they need? Who will get them there? You know where you can find the answers on every episode of the Canes Corner podcast, live on YouTube after games, and wherever you get your podcast. Rate, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Buying or selling a home is a big deal, literally. It's one of the largest financial transactions you're likely to make. So work with someone who will work with your best interests in mind. Someone who agrees to operate with transparency, honesty, and fairness every step of the way. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors and are bound by a strict code of ethics that requires they put your interests above their own. Because that's who we are. Make sure your agent is a Realtor.
Mayfield has time. Down the middle, throws an interception. Picked off by Christian Roseboom. And Roseboom makes the plays. The Panthers looking for a spark here.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So, the Monday after the final week in the NFL is known for coaches getting the old heave-ho. So making the postseason is a good way to insulate yourself from that because you still got games to coach. Dave Canales still has games to coach, and we're going to be playing some audio that he has some from his conversations with the media earlier today. But I thought before we do that, we'd update you on the guys who were not as fortunate. So far, I'll give you all of the coaches that have been moved on from, and that includes the ones we lost. Goodness gracious, that sounds morbid. The ones that lost their jobs during the season. Most recently, Jonathan Gannon, Arizona. He got the heave-ho today, 15-36 over 3 seasons in Arizona. Couldn't make it work. Kyler Murray, obviously a big part of that. But also, you draft Marvin Harrison Jr., and you just don't see that be dynamic much at all. That's going to be a tough one for an offensive coach. Pete Carroll, Vegas Raiders, move on after 1 season.
Yeah.
From a legend. Tom Brady has something to do with that, part owner. I imagine Tom Brady's fingerprints will be all over the next hire. I don't know if it was all over the Pete Carroll hiring, but either way, their offense was bad enough, their offensive line was bad enough that the firing kind of makes sense. Kevin Stefanski from the Browns, also gone. I think this is change of scenery style stuff. I think Stefanski's still a good coach, but the Browns have put him in really bad situations over and over again, so it seems like he might not be a great coach. The Deshaun Watson trade / entire situation / injuries set that franchise back a decade, and Stefanski's kind of wearing that one for the team. Raheem Morris, Atlanta Falcons, also fired. We tip our hat to him on his way out because the Falcons' win in his last game as a coach did put the Panthers in the postseason.
Thank you, Raheem. Needed all those, 4 straight wins to close out the season? Yeah. Needed every single one of them, including beating the Bucs, baby. Let's go.
It's a bold decision by the Falcons there. In the post-game media availabilities, Bijan Robinson and Drake London, I believe amongst others, but definitely those two, said they wanted Raheem Morris back. And then less than 24 hours later, he was given the old heave-ho. So better hire somebody the Stars like. Got to keep those guys happy.
Especially when you had a young quarterback get hurt early on in the season. Then you had an older veteran quarterback who was coming off of an Achilles injury from last year.
And as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't have control over the roster, so whoever made the ridiculous decision to pay Kirk Cousins all of that money and then draft a quarterback 8th overall, that's just too much resources towards a position where only one guy plays.
Also, how attractive is that job? Because you don't have a first-round pick this year because that was traded to get James Pierce Jr., so you don't have a first-round pick this year, and you have major questions at quarterback. Kirk Cousins is going to be a free agent, and also the other guy Michael Penix Jr., who didn't play really that well at all, is also coming off a partial ACL tear and has had multiple ACL injuries already, even though he's still young. It's a major question mark.
It very much all depends on how you feel about Michael Penix. If you're a coach and you think he's really good, I think it's a really attractive job because they have a lot of pieces elsewhere. By the way, the two edge rushers from the state of North Carolina, Jalen Walker and Michael Pierce.
James Pierce?
Yes, what I call him.
Michael
Pierce. James
too.
Pierce Jr. Who's Michael Pierce?
I don't know. We'll find out.
I feel like I know him. Maybe I went to high school with him.
Probably.
But they both had very good rookie years when you look at edge rushing statistics, not just raw sack totals, but they got some of those as well. But they got young edge rushers on defense. Obviously, Bijan's a monster. Drake London's pretty good. Some offensive linemen that are pretty good. They've got something there with questions at quarterback. So that's what it all comes down to. Quickly here, Brian Dable with the Giants already out. We've talked about it. Brian Callahan with the Titans out. We've talked about it. And there's still some names that need to be decided upon. Todd Bowles amongst them with the Bucs. So those guys are having rough days. Dave Canales was doing the best thing other than worrying about his job. He was talking to the media about his team playing in the postseason, and we have some of that audio. Dave Canales talked as, I think everyone thinks it's important. I said it earlier. They have to get that run game going, and this is what he had to say about getting the running game going.
It's a full group effort. Starts with me and the coaching staff, making sure that we have the right plan together for our guys. And then it starts up front with the O-line, the blocking, the combos, making sure we're moving guys off the spot to get the play started. And then once the backs have the ball, just looking for that violent style of play that we saw, that we know they can, and return to that and make sure we're getting efficient runs on a consistent basis.
All right, if that's how you fix it, let's talk about, before we get to treating the symptoms, let's get to the cause. Why is the run game struggling lately? Here's more from Canales.
It's all of us. It's making sure we're running the right styles of runs for our group. Starts up front. We have to get movement. We cannot let people run through the line of scrimmage. Safeties, linebackers cannot run through the line of scrimmage. Our combos have to be excellent. We got to make sure it's covered up so that the backs can press the line of scrimmage and make decisions from there. And then from there, challenging the backs. Get that ball and run physical downhill. Let's get efficient runs. We can't have zeros and ones. If there's any daylight at all, let's get behind our pads. Let's get 2, 3, or 4. We do that twice in a row. We're in a manageable third down. When we get into these known pass situations, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9s, then we get a little bit more predictable. We still run the ball in those situations a little bit, but if you want to get into a favorable third down, a lot of times you're going to be throwing some type of pass concept. And so we got to get back to having that really efficient run game that we were counting on in the middle of the season.
I don't know, do you know what's the hard part about the running game for the Panthers? Is they have that month and a half where Rico Dowdle was 2006 LaDainian Tomlinson, and that's what everything is being judged off of. You don't need that, right? You don't need to average 9 yards a carry. You don't need to have 200 total yards from a guy in multiple games. What you need is just good enough run game, just committed enough run game, just enough volume to keep defenses honest and make it just a hair easier for Bryce Young to have success through the air. That's all you need. I'm not asking for Rico Dowdle to turn back into Curtis Martin. I don't know, I'm just picking old running backs that are good. I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking for some semblance of a quality run game. Give me 20 carries for 80 yards. That's it. Is that too much to ask? Maybe it is. More from Canales. But I mean, some of us dabble and gamble. They dabble. Some of us dabble in gambling.
That too.
We also dabble in gabbling. Some of us dabble in gambling. And you saw the opening line for Panthers-Rams, 10. Panthers are double-digit underdogs in the postseason. That doesn't happen often. Dave Canales, to his credit as a coach, doesn't care about that.
Hey, that's what it is. I don't know how they come up with those numbers, but I'm sure they have algorithms for us. We can't worry about that. We just got to worry about playing our best football. That's been the pursuit. We have to get back to making sure we're efficient on third down, get our run game going, offensively speaking, and defensively finding ways to get off the field. And, I see a defense in our defense that continues to learn how to play together, trust each other, play with leverage and physicality, and we got to just continue to build off of that.
Yeah, they do have algorithms and everything else. And the algorithms don't like you. They don't. But you know what else algorithms don't have? They don't measure heart. They can't tell what you got in your ticker. The bad Burgess Meredith impression. You got to cut me, Mick. It's why the playoffs are awesome. It's why single elimination tournaments are awesome. Yeah, it's a 10-point dog. You're a 10-point underdog. Nobody believes in you. But when have the Panthers played their best football this year? When nobody believes in them. Right, Week 18 was kind of a intersection because the Panthers had played good one week, bad the next week. Good one week, bad the next week. And if that pattern were going to continue, they should have played really well in Week 18 and won the game against the Bucs. However, there was another pattern, which is when everybody believes in the Panthers, they played poorly. When everybody counted them out, they played well. And going into Week 18, everybody did believe in the Panthers, right? They were the overwhelming favorite to make the postseason. They were a favorite in the game against the Bucs. Like there was belief there. So with that pattern, they should have played bad, and that's true. That happened. So basically, we learned which pattern was real. It wasn't just every other game. It's when you're believed in, you play bad. So now you're going into this game. Nobody believes in you. They should play great. They should win this game. That's my logic, and I'm sticking to it. Let's get back to more from Canales earlier today talking with the media. He is, for better or worse, and has been. This is the reason he was hired. He's an offensive developer, right? He's the guy that was around when Geno Smith was reclaimed and built back up. He was the guy that was around when Baker Mayfield reclaimed his spot as one of the more exciting quarterbacks in the league, and he's supposed to do the same to Bryce. So what did Dave Canales, or what is Dave Canales' message to his young quarterback, Bryce Young, going into his very first career playoff start?
All the preparation, every single game, they're all steps in preparing for these types of moments, and it's really important to just be efficient. And it's the same. It's going to be the same message coming from me: is I don't need you to be special all game. There's going to be 3 to 5 opportunities in the game where you got to call it all up. Use all the tools that you have with your mind and your legs and your arm to make those plays when the time is right. And that can be early, that can be late in the game, but it's really important to understand that part. You don't have to carry this thing. You just have to do your part and be efficient and make the right decisions so that we can play our best football.
There's fine lines there. And by the way, that's a great message. And I'm not arguing that he should have said something different there. Now I'm just talking about what I want to see from Bryce. There's a really, really fine line between owning your moment and being uncoachable. That's not the right way to put it. But I think one of the flaws, and it's a weird flaw to have because it on the surface it looks like something exceptionally beneficial, is I think Bryce is a bit robotic in the coach tells me what to do and I do it to the best of my abilities. The coach tells me what to do and I do it. He tells me this and I do it. He tells me if it's not wide open, not to take the shot, to dump it down to the check down. So I'm going to, unless it's wide open, I'm going to dump it down to the check down. And it's a bit of that when I think the best quarterbacks sense moments and realize I can change the game here. I can do something great and I have confidence in myself to do it. I don't want Bryce, similar to the play calling thing, I don't want Bryce to be reckless. I don't want him to go chase moments. but you know it when you see it, right? That little, you get the feeling in your stomach where you're like, I think I'm going to have a chance to change the game here. I want Bryce to relish in that moment and go for it. I want him to try to make the play. There's only one way you're going to find out, if you got it or not, and that's to go for it. And when I say it, I mean it factor, I mean the big play stuff, I mean everything that we're told about Bryce. So he doesn't have to be anything, superhuman. He doesn't have to go out there and talk about superhuman. The play where Lamar Jackson stepped up and split the two defenders, rolled to his left, direct traffic, threw it over to Zay Flowers over the top to make it a new game for the Ravens. I don't want Bryce Young to even try that. I don't want his brain to even think that's possible. But if Tetairoa McMillan is even, he's leaving, right? You got to give him that chance. It doesn't have to be wide open. Jalen Coker can make contested catches. Trust your arm, trust your receiver, make a play. Live with the results, and it might be criticized, but live with the results. You can put your head on your pillow at night knowing you left it all out there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Coming up next, we do have Panther Talk, I believe.
That we do.
So you'll hear from Dave Canales yet again. Anish Shroff, voice of the Panthers, and the crew. They will keep you all updated on what it's like getting ready for a postseason game on Saturday. That's right here on 99.9 The Fan. If you missed out on Monday Soundoff, you can send in voice memos. You can leave us voice notes on the 99.9 The Fan app. You do have to be registered there, so make the little profile, give us your name and birthday or whatever else they need, and then you can log in and leave us voicemails. You might hear them here on the show. We'll be back tomorrow for a Tuesday edition of the show. Until then, have a wonderful Monday evening, everybody. See ya.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Something seems amiss between the relationship of Harbs and Lamar Jackson. I understand that nobody wants to blame either one of them for the lack of success they've been able to achieve since 2018, but at some point, something has to change in order to get a different result, and I think that the head coach is by far the easier to make a move.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Now, let's take a short break from our 8-hour ode to the oboe for a word from our sponsor, Mr. First Tuesday. Get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday. Looks like we've got a caller on the line.
How are you not more excited about new scratch-offs? There's millions in prizes.
Who is this?
Oh, this is Mr. First Tuesday. And by the way, it goes, get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who